Time now for the Sunraysia Footy Match of the Day. Thanks to Colliantini First National Real Estate. The SFNL Match of the Day on Hot FM, your official SFNL broadcaster.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kenny Park. Your Colliantini Sunraysia Footy Match of the Day is the wrap-up of the split round 9 for, of course, the big Hatter race event this weekend. Other game on in the league today, of course, is the John James Oval in Robinvale. The Eagles taking on Wentworth, but we're here to see the top of the table clash, which sees Merbein at home to Mildura. Paddy Silcox alongside of Ben Ridley, Michael D. Fabrizio and John Hollywood down on the boundary for us for Fatty Boombar this afternoon. Riddles, good afternoon.
Great to be here, Silco, and we're just seeing Merbein come out now and missing their big ruckman Rixie today, which is a real shame because would have really liked to see him in this dour, wet conditions out on the oval at the moment.
Yeah, we got the information through from Jason Tawney, the SFNL, only a couple of days back about some suspensions being handed out, and unfortunately, D-Fab, Rixie on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a loss that they keenly feel because Mildura have been waiting to fill that ruck void, and they've got a player in to do that. So it would have been nice to see test him against one of the quality rucks of the competition in Rix. But in saying that, both sides are pretty close to full strength. There's just a few guys that maybe they would like back, but as far as some, I guess, the top end talent, they're at a pretty good state at the moment, and we'll get a pretty good gauge of where they're at.
Yeah, we will, D-Fab. You mentioned about the new ruckman at number 1. Zach Phillips comes in last played, I reckon, at St Arnaud in North Central Riddles. The mail is that he hasn't played footy for a little while, so just finding his way back into a bit of form. And we were speaking to Gary Dawson upstairs here only about 10 minutes ago, getting better game by game. Yeah,
well, he's been travelling around Australia, is the report. So the girlfriend made him pack up the combi van and... as we hear the siren travel around Australia, but as you said, I think he's now to be game 3, I think, coming in, or game 3 or 4. And as you said, I think today is going to be a really good showing for him, not having Rix up against him. We'll probably expect that Nate Bull goes up in the ruck against him, so he's going to have a little bit less experience to compete with. And as you said, each game, Coach Kerridge has said that he's been growing, which is a bit hard to comprehend for a ruckman. They're meant to stop growing, aren't they?
Yeah. Interesting the way the ladder's got itself positioned at the moment, because Mildura are a game clear on top with 32 points. Then Merbein in second on 28 are a game clear of 3 chasing teams, the Kangas, the Swallows and Redcliffe. So huge game in the context for Merbein potentially. If should they drop today, then they almost come back to that pack of teams that are chasing in 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, they're cementing themselves, as you said, one of the flag favourites. But today's a real key for them, D-Fab. If they do drop this one, then as you said, with a game in hand up their sleeve for, I think, Mildura at the moment, the problem that you've got with Merbein is, they come back to a pack that is in really good form right across the board. So it's going to be really intriguing. But you mentioned a couple of the players that are going to be out today. So RJ Watson out for Mildura. As you said, probably counteracts, weirdly enough, that you don't have Rixie playing there, but Vinny Rhodey out of the side as well. So they're both going to be really evenly matched. So it's going to be a real intriguing game, and it's probably the one who handles the conditions the best. It's going to be a little bit slippery looking by the twos there, Silco.
Yep, agreed. As we can see, our man on the boundary make his way out towards the cricket pitch here at Kenny Park. So for the first time this afternoon, we'll throw down to Johnny Hollywood for Fatty Boombar. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, boys. How are we?
Ready for a big game, mate. We've been looking forward to this one on the calendar. I saw it about a month ago and thought, I'm absolutely in for this one. It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, look, we knew that a month ago, didn't we? That both these sides were certainly going to be up there. There's no doubt about that. Conditions on the ground, boys. Look, it's a little bit soft out here and that sort of stuff, but it's a beautiful day regards to footy. The players, once they're warmed up, they're going to be fired up, so it's going to be a ripper game.
Much breeze to speak of, John. We're looking at the trees over the back by the bowling club, and doesn't look to be a lot of movement.
No, not really. There's not much down here, Paddy. It's actually a lovely, lovely day for footy. It's a middle of winter day. It's going to be 14 top degrees of 14, but beautiful.
Yeah. How do you see it, John? I know it's still plenty to play out before 5 this afternoon, but we were talking upstairs pre-match. You were sort of potentially leaning towards Mildura.
Oh, in other words, I have no idea. Realistically, that's just full of crap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Realistic. I just think they're both very good sides, and it's who's on in the day, who gets through injury-free, all that sort of stuff. I was swinging Merbein's way at the start of the week, but when I say Mr. Ricks, Mr. Week, that worried me. Mr. Rhodey even more so has sort of worried me a little bit. But both sides get through things. Mildura, for me, though, boys, the reason I'm going to pick them is just the way they're coached.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. I reckon Riddles, Mark Alvey, has been a revelation since his return back to the club in the last couple of seasons. And DFAB, he's one of the main reasons that they've been probably the team of the league for the last, say, 18 months.
Yeah, well, what I liked this week in the video on the Mildura Facebook page, he did a little post-game wrap-up, and he said he's pretty honest with the boys after the game against Wentworth. They had an honest chat, the coaches and the team, saying, look, that we do need to get better. And there were positive steps last week, obviously, because they were bouncing back from the surprise loss to Robinvale Euston the week before, so they took a step in the right direction, but it sounded like there was a bit more room for improvement that he was seeking, and so it's going to be interesting to go up against a side, against Merbein, who are up and about, feeling a lot of momentum, home crowd advantage.
Yep.
They're probably looking to get a bit of an upset going, and I think there could be on the table that we're not seeing Mildura quite nailing everything that the coaches want at the moment, but at the same time, maybe the rev up last week worked for him.
He's a tough taskmaster, Owls, isn't he, Riddles? No question. The Pies have played some really attractive, aggressive, attacking footy here at Kenny Park, and we're looking forward to hopefully more of that today.
I actually think they're the best side we've seen. Probably outside of South Mildura last week, which was really tough because Imps were just incredibly undermanned. But as you said, the excitement of what Merbein produce each week, because they're a really fast attacking flowing side, and that's where it's going to be. I'm going to go in with Merbein as a slight favourite for me today because of that. And so that's going to be interesting to see whether these ground conditions slow that ball down a little bit and it gets ground level contest. But the first game we saw them against Oyen, it was a really contested game, and I reckon that's where they played their best footy even around the contest, especially with the Bedford brothers. They were spectacular. So it can go either way.
They've got forwards that can create something out of nothing, and that's, I think, if it does get bogged down in that forward 50, it just spills out to McDonald, Tippin, Woody, or it spills out to Bedford or Lockyer. Someone just gets their hands on it and makes something happen. And it'll be interesting at the other end because obviously they've got four key targets, Mildura, and if they spread out and stretch that back six, that could put them under a bit of pressure because these sides are both equal in terms of points per game that they're scoring, but it's the defence where Merbein actually ranks 6th in the comp for points against per game.
Is that right?
So that's a bit of a difference. But like you said, I kind of don't want them to abandon that instinct, that attack, that's kind of the secret sauce. So you don't want them to move too far away from that by manning up a bit more or anything like that. So it's going to be, the balance to me is going to be interesting how they manage it.
Interesting talking about backline because we've got Frankel coming off the ground here, obviously a key backman as well. So and then down the other end you've got the likes of Silko, Reynolds and Kerridge.
Yes,
that are going to be really hard. So Timmy Page and Harradine you'd expect are going to be the two main backs there. They're going to have to take a fairly significant role there, but they're two fairly dynamic players to have inside your forward 50.
And they've teamed up, haven't they, on several occasions for the D's, kicking around that 8 to 10 goals between them in games, and you wonder whether if those two can combine for 4 or 5 each today, that might be enough to get them home.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing in terms of containing the key forward for Merbein, Corey Lockell, who's been in good form, they've got Zach Bushner. I've learned how that's pronounced, apparently, Bushner. And
that was not how I was going to say it, so I'm glad that you've actually done that. So we're okay with this.
I listened to Al's chat and he filled me in. So he's the key defender that you'd think might go to Lockell. We could have a look now if he's
just having a look
in that direction.
Here.
But
so Harradine's gone to Kerridge. Just looking around for Reynolds at the moment. So where's Reynolds going out there?
You keep an eye on them, Riddles, and I'll get it underway here as we see umpire Matty Buick throw us into the sky here at Kenny Park. Top of the table clash, and it's one down by Phillips to Rogerson, who kicks to half forward looking for Elijah Brown. Nice hassle there from Cooper Dodds, but it falls out in the back. Quick kick up forward to Kerridge. Sells the chocolate inside out. Goal Mildura in the first 5 or 6 seconds of the game, would you believe?
And as you said, sold some absolute candy. Kerridge just virtually did the LeBron James there, lifted the ball up with one hand, turned his direct opponent inside out. But tell you what, you've got your stars firing nice and early. It goes straight down to Rogerson, the Rolls Royce, up to Kerridge at full forward, and you can't ask for a better start than that, DFAB.
Yeah, Rogerson starting on the ball as well. He was lined up next to Hills. There's some good matchups in there, and like you say, in the forward line there, just there's the candy cell just lured Harradine in to commit to the double-handed smother, but it was like an ankle breaker in basketball where you set it somewhere the wrong way.
Yes, Johnny?
Yeah, the biggest thing there for me was obviously Benny Douches off half-back flank.
Yes.
Obviously, he's the one that went to help the second contest and got caught out, and his man got the ball.
All right, back underway with live action as Merbein trying to take it ahead this time. Over the footy, they'll get a quick clearing kick up towards half-forward. Looking for Lockyer. Lots of numbers around the contest. Here is Lockyer off a step, 50 metres out. Loads are up! Oh, can play the boy. He's Benny Ridley's pick for
He's me one.
the McLeod medal. He was touting his skill set here in the opening weeks of the season, and we saw one of those against Redcliffe in the final quarter when they came home like a steam train. You give him a centimetre of space and he'll take a mile.
What a start to the game. Kerridge down one end, and then we get Lockyer down the other end, and they were virtually similar. You saw out of the middle of the contest there, it was being held by Noah Hills. Noah Hills was virtually one-handed, slap on the boot, very similar to what Mitchell Rogerson did, and what a start to the game.
2 goals in 30 seconds. It's an antidote to the Socceroos this morning.
Oh, absolutely. As here's Rogerson trying to get a takeaway for Mildura. Held up nicely by Scotty Bedford there. Umpire Mick Brewell comes in off his wing and says, bit of stalemate, lads. We'll get it going again. It's probably about the 2-minute mark. We haven't got the clock going up on the scoreboard at the moment, so I'm trying to run it off the phone here as we look at it. Counting down is not a great way to try and keep a handle on it.
That is 43 seconds.
I know.
43 seconds, and we're 2 goals.
Incredible. Umpire Brewell throws us up again. Bit of a wrestle going in the ruck contest. One down by Phillips. Good hustle there coming in as they go out wide. Picked up beautifully here by Noah Hills on the run. Kicks inside the 50. Big Corey backs himself here. It hits the ground with Lockyer. Couldn't handle it. Lockall goes to ground. Tries to get it back to McDonald. Tip and Woody. He's taken a pretty decent tackle. Well, Drew one holding the Agates. Umpire says nothing doing, and we'll get a toss-up, Riddles.
So 20 metres out, directly in front of Merbein's goal, looking for their second, only in less than a minute. So Lockall gets pushed out of the contest. Ball spills down to Lockyer. Lockyer tries to get the quick release. Hurried kick out of defence by Nolan. It's intercepted as Page comes through. Handball out, looks like it's Bedford. Bedford tackled by a couple of Ds and has been called for throwing the ball. So on the defensive 50, it's going to be a free kick to Nolan of Mildura. Very tight in defence. The umpire's called him back to go back over the mark. He's in no rush to be able to move the ball, so goes short to the corridor. It's a bit too hot there for Rogerson. Spinning over the back is Trooper Bedford. Kick smothered off the boot, but he's got his brother there to help out. Ducks his way through, takes one bounce, but leaves the ball behind. At the top of the 50, somehow turns a couple of players in, goes short, misses absolutely everything. Noah Hills runs onto it. Looks like he's going to run to an open goal. He kicks from 25 directly out in front, and it's a running goal. Noah Hills, the skipper, has started off on fire here. He's had a couple of nice clearances out of the middle defab. And that's 2 goals here to the Merbein Magpies, and only, again, a couple of minutes gone in this game.
Well, a few players are losing their footing at the moment, aren't they? So we might have to ask John down there on the bench what it's like on deck for so many players to slip over.
Let's do that, Johnny, for Fatty Boomba. Obviously, a few blokes out there just can't stay up on the straight and narrow at the moment.
No, look, they can't, and I can't blame them for not wearing screw-ins and that sort of stuff. You just look at the dark patches on the grounds, guys. Obviously, a little bit of water contained there, so it's a little bit slippery in those patches in the middle, over the right flank here, going towards the full area. Mildura picked up out of the centre now, going forward.
Yeah, off the boot of Tyler Costa, they go towards right half forward. Marking contest ensues. Good work there by the young fella Riley Pinion, although he may have given one late there just for a bit of a linger. And Mick Brewell certainly right on the money there, didn't make a mistake. And it's coming back here. There's an Elijah Brown there underneath the Cumilla Club scoreboard. He'll try and level our score here after 4 minutes.
Interestingly enough, this year we've seen more set shots on goal from Elijah Brown than I reckon we have over the last few years. Usually a really running forward. But he's taken a set shot, 40 metres out directly in front. Off the boot, spears it, and it's looking pretty good.
Wow.
He's happy with it as we see the D's level it up. 4.5 minutes gone on the Cumilla Club scoreboard. Merbein 2 straight 12. And Mildura just getting the evener there in the opening term. 2-0.
Umpires give a point.
Oh, he's given a point.
Hey?
He's given a point.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Kerridge gone to the right-hand side. Everyone thought it went straight to the middle.
Well, Kerridge was right behind there as well.
Kerridge has gone up to the umpire to inquire about this. He's absolutely
where's the R?
beside himself. Exactly right. So it's hang on. We've got umpires coming in from absolutely everywhere to convene here. I reckon she's going to be a goal, this, surely, if they've had that conversation.
No, he's put the one hand up.
He hasn't, has he?
I think he has, the central umpire.
Wow. Well, what about that? Interesting juncture here at the 5-minute mark, 1-1-7. Mildura trailing the Maggies 2 straight 12 on the Cumilla Club scoreboard as they get it way out wide to Nate Bull. as he tried to pick it up at ground level. Nice work at carpet line by Bedford. Swoops back out here for Ferraris, who needs to bring it inboard. He'll get an option in Hooker, who just steps around a couple of opponents and kicks it down the line towards centre wing. Oh, that's a super effort down low. Is that Trooper Bedford in the long sleeve?
The old Mal Miller lookalike as he plays on quickly, looking for a teammate. And it's a little bit too hot for everybody as Lee, who's happy to see that go over the boundary line. But every time I watch Trooper Bedford, it is just Mel Miller reincarnated. It's incredible. Even the long sleeves.
Incredible that he's a one-point player too as well. He's just picked up footy and just run with it, hasn't he?
Is it for real?
Yeah, he's tagged along with his brother.
Okay.
One down by Phillips, front and centre. Rogerson, quick hand pass to Nolan. He gets it on his boot, floats a screwy up towards half forward, back with a flight. Gee, that's a good catch there from Maxi Keel. He's gone a bit dark, has he, on top? A bit of a rinse through the hair. I couldn't quite pick him up initially.
And he's changed the colour boots too.
Oh, kick was smothered, I reckon, by the man on the mark, but Kerridge takes it and plays on to Rogerson, right forward pocket. The Rolls Royce leans back. He's going to go across the face with a minor score, though. 1-2-8, the D's. Merbein 2 straight 12. That, of course, on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. 6.5 gone according to our clock.
It's a bit that's happened already, Silko, in 6.5 minutes of football as we see the ball cleared out of defence looking for Nate Bull. He's been beaten to the contest here. Ball spills to ground. He tries to go and recover. At right half forward, attacking end here for the D's. We've seen everything so far in the first 5.5 minutes or 6 minutes. It's been a spectacular start as we see the ball spill down to Noah Hills. Could have been taken high. Umpire says he has been. So he's going to take a kick from half-back, goes short and wide. On the outer side, it looks like, is that Bedford?
That might be Hooker out there.
Hooker, is it? Yeah, it is Hooker. Gee, that white Pajero there doesn't help with the jumper.
No, not at all.
As he goes long down the line, pack forms. It's a fly at the back from Hurley. Ball spills to ground. Trooper Bedford gets a running play, gets a handball out wide. Oh, great tackle by Hurley, and that's holding the ball.
Really nicely done to get, firstly, the spoil with the contest against Lockall and then to just follow up with the footy and lay the tackle.
Yeah, really hit and stuck, didn't he? No question, Benny. Just playing up the ground a little bit on that particular occasion. He's on the social room side. He runs around the man on the mark, kicks up to centre wing, searching lead by McDonald. He run himself underneath it, falls into the hands again of Hooker. He kicks it up towards centre half forward. Big Corey got the jets on, made the territory nicely. He marks inside the centre square, goes out towards the right forward pocket. McDonald, Tip and Woody was caught out behind in the contest, but he sharks it. He gets it on his left. He swings it around. The Demons have got the answers back on the last line. Tarrant Lahoo saves the day.
Yeah, it was a great save. He goes out wide, finds a player in Nolan. Nolan's got a runner if he needs. He elects to use him. That's Buet. Could have been taken for the second time. He gets around. He's a player. Goes long to centre wing. Flying high was Keel. Staying at the bottom of the ball was Reynolds. Reynolds with that beautiful left foot goes to the top of the 50 looking for Kerridge. He's trying to turn Harradine inside out. Is he only one of the two that can keep his feet? This time he goes to ground. This time we start to see the players from Merbein come in and try and help. But it's being caught holding the ball.
Wow.
A really tough call there on Scott Bedford, who seems like he only just quickly collected the ball. Tried to give a don't argue, and it did seem like, Silko, that he did get a little bit of boot to ball there, but either way, the umpires called it in favour of Elijah Brown, and as we've mentioned earlier, he's lining up for his second set shot, but it's going to be interesting to see what the umpire makes of this, as he last one was a point. As he goes, it's looking great off the boot. We've got absolute centre stage behind him, and he made no mistake kicking right from 50, and that time the umpire couldn't do anything but put the two hands up, and that is the second goal officially here for the D's that are just extending the lead here, Silko.
Talked of some of those key forwards for Mildura DFAB, but Elijah Brown maybe sneaks under the radar occasionally, and Magpies will have to pay attention to detail on him.
And you've got to throw Max Kuhl in as well. The interesting thing, it's no surprise we're seeing offence because of the top 10 goal kickers, we've got 7 of them on the field today.
Oh, right.
Okay. So you've got Lockall, you've got Lockyer, you've got McDonald, Tip and Woody, you've got Reynolds, you've got Keel, you've got Brown. They're all out there. So it's a Rolls Royce.
It's a genuine top of the table clash.
Could be a potential shootout here early doors. 2-2-14, Mildura leading Merbein 2 straight 12 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. 9 3/4 minute mark in this opening turn. Kick down the line there was from Nick Price. Gets up towards left half forward. Here is Keel. He's going against Pinion. Both players lose their feet, but Maxi gets back up. He's taken without the footy. Umpire wanted to call it. And I reckon Matt Viewing had no option there. Had to go that way. Just a bit of a lingering tackle, or has he? He, in fact, hasn't made a call. It's going to be a ball in.
Yeah, okay. So very, very surprising there, Silko.
Get the reload. Left forward pocket, D is attacking the Merbein common into the ground. This opening stanza, here's Zach Mack, gets it out to Reynolds. Favoured in the pocket off his left boot. Sets her up, it's swinging but not enough. Just a minor score the results. So that'll take Mildura 3 points clear now, 2-3-15 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. Merbein 2 straight 12. Got nothing to do at the moment, boys, from the John James Oval, but we'll try and keep tabs on that one between Robinvale Euston and Wenty for Fatty Boomba.
Yeah, Robinvale Euston will certainly want to get the 4 points on the board. So Harradang clearing out a defence with a long kick to the outer side. Flying was Hills a little bit too early. Ball spills over the back in the hands of Nolan. Handball inboard as the running player in Rogerson collects the ball, goes short, looking for Keel.
Guess who?
Oh, and the umpire hasn't called it. He looks like it may have just been touched just before it hit the hands of Keel. But I think he was a bit surprised that it just landed in his hands there as well.
He's about 4th or 5th in the chain there. He wasn't expecting to get that far. As we go to Frankel getting the double fist down towards the boundary line. Shark nicely there by Hills, inside beautifully here for Gussie Smith. Attractive looking left footer. His kick's not great though, as it's intercepted by Zach Phillips on the outer side. A quick kick down the line, and that will go further afield. Trooper Bedford just getting a little carried away. And that will march Mildura right up underneath the Kumiala Club scoreboard. Is that Brownie again, I reckon?
Yeah,
he's got it hemmed in on the boundary line. He'd be all of 50 metres from there, I reckon.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to be kicking right from the boundary. Is he going to do the safe bet? He's going to give it everything he can as the plaque flies. Going over the back was Kerridge. And the ball spills over for another behind, but very, very busy and active at the moment. Elijah Brown around the 50-metre arc at DFAB. He's been in everything.
That's right, yeah, both sides of that forward 50. He's been able to get involved and have a few chances. Some called off, some paid, but he's certainly been the star forward so far in this game.
Got an update from the John James Oval. The Eagles 1-1-7, leading Wentworth 1 behind. That's about 8 or so minutes into the opening stanza down the road.
Tell you what
John
I'm not happy
James.
about at the moment is the two blonde-haired guys for Merbein, Smith and Stevens, wearing long-sleeve jumpers and zinc cream.
Doppelgangers almost, aren't
Not
they?
helping us at all.
Not great for commentary as Tarrant Lahoo now picks himself up off the deck. He's in the left half forward flank just outside the 50, sets it up off the boot. It's not too bad. Merbein all up there, and Kerridge was almost favoured out the back door. Just didn't quite come his way. And we'll get another toss in there, right adjacent to the left-hand behind post. Demons 2-4-16, Merbein 2 straight 12 at the 12 3/4 minute mark on Hot FM.
So reloading back into the back pocket, Nolan, the unorthodox ruckman, comes through, taps it. Running players coming from everywhere at the moment, but holding the ball up, and it's going to be a throw up, 15 metres out directly in front. And Mildura doing all the attacking in the last 3 minutes out here at Kenny Park as Nolan again takes the ruck, this time over the top of Frankel. Spills in the tap zone. Again, just a handful of players jumping on top of the ball in the exact same position, 15 metres out directly in front.
So Frankel's now in the ruck, boys. The ball's come off and Frankel's gone into the ruck.
As we see Kerridge take the ball out of the contest. He was tackled immediately. Rowe tries to play on. It's not going to be 15. Ball goes straight skyward. Spilling down again, that pack forms, and it doesn't look like it's going to be moving anywhere. Again, 15 metres out directly in front. It's a rugby scrum. State of Origin week 2 this week as well, Silko.
It is. Interesting, that rotation on and off the bench between Frankel and Bull. I don't think we necessarily picked that up in the pre-match as Rowe gets clattered, but he got the hand pass out to Trooper Bedford, who clears D50 with a kick down the line. Out the back is McDonald. Tippenwoody affects the spoil on Seward. Falls out the back. Here's a chance for Nowak as he gets it back. He needs support. Come inside here for Jack Walker. Shoots the hand pass to Seward. And they're running strongly down the line here. Mildura towards left half forward. Bit of push and shove on Keel. He played it up a treat, and I reckon he will get the resulting free kick.
He's playing above his years at the moment, Keel, and even just that, the nous of knowing that he was only slightly held, but he certainly won an Emmy Award as he reloads, goes to the top of the square. Leading out is Kerridge. Punch from behind was good by Rowe. Ball spills to ground. Players trying to jump on it from Mildura and Merbein. Zachy McDonald on the second grab gets it, but Page picks up the loose ball. Quick handball outside to Scott Kyle Stevens. He's got a couple to beat. Gets it to Angus Smith, the doppelganger.
The brothers.
They are the brothers as the ball goes with a nice spearing kick to Noah Hills on left half back.
Yeah, he's been very impressive to start this game. The skipper, he's hemmed in way out wide on the boundary side. Outer side of Kenny Park, he plays on, opens up the angle, kicks it up towards left half forward. Lockyer got a bit of a look in, but Benny Hurley going back with a flight. Puts his body on the line. He does it week in, week out, Riddles.
Courageous. He quickly gets the ball moving on the centre wing. On the outer side, Mildura again loading up on the wing. The ball goes short, looking for a marking forward there in Lehu, who's across half forward today, has found himself mainly across half back this season and had a great season as well. But just in front of our Kumiela Club scoreboard, right half forward flank, there'll be another throw up.
Down to Johnny on the sideline for Fatty Boomba. Johnny, how are you seeing it unfolding so far?
Look, some of the matchup and some of the placements regards to some of the Merbein players have actually thrown me. They've even had Ash Rowe push back there at some stages, and obviously Justin Franklin, the ruck, sort of surprised me. And what about Mickey Harradine, boys? He was captain of the Twos 2 years ago, now playing on Sam Kerridge at full back.
I'll tell you what, he's looking fitter than 2 years ago as well, as we see Frankel take the ball.
Fit, I'll give him that credit.
He is, he's looking good. So the ball spills out. Again, another contest on the outer wing. No real advantage for either side here as the ball spills to ground. Everyone just trying to push their bodies into the contest to be able to just get the ball out in some way. But on true centre wing on the outer side, Mildura's side of Kenny Park, there's going to be another throw-up.
DFAB, any matchups that are taking your liking at this stage of the game?
I really enjoyed the Rogerson battle with Hills. They're just hurting each other each way, and it's an exciting battle.
Here you go, the Pies again, this time through the cricket pitch area. Kenny Park looking up forward. Nice call out. I reckon Lockyer was coming in hard, but he was called out by his teammates around him, and that was a very clever bit of work to allow an opportunity for Lucas Pettit to come up and take it in the Dukes. And he marks in the true centre half forward position. He's going to be kicking from just inside 50. Pies attacking the swimming pool end of the ground in this first term. They currently trail by 4 points on the Kumiela Club scoreboard as we tick over, nearly 17 minutes gone, opening term. And Pettit, former South Mildura Bulldog, much needed one for Merbein, who haven't seen much forward action in the last 5 or so minutes. Sets it up. It's just drifting a fraction to the far side of the sticks, so minor score. Pies 2-1-13, Mildura 2-4-16. That, of course, on the Kumiela Club scoreboard.
As we see Brody Jones still inside the defensive 50, 40 metres out from the defensive goal. Pushes back off Tippermoody McDonald, plays onto the outer side, looking long down the line, and virtually just coming out of absolutely nowhere is Lukey Reynolds. Takes an easy mark on his chest. Still defensive side of centre. He goes short inboard to the corridor. Nice little give off there by Noel.
He's going to be gone.
And Lee, who's tried to tried to get a run on the wing there, was legged, and he certainly was legged. He was grabbed lasso style around the ankles, and there could be a 50-metre infringement here because the opposition players are right around him.
Yeah.
So it looks like a nice little kick down the end, but it's a little bit too hot for all the players. Coming through with absolute strength there. Who was that running through? Cooper Dodds. Geez, he threw his body around. Ball spills out to Donahue. Donahue with a nice big handball out wide to Smith. Smith with that beautiful left foot goes further down the line, and it was a really nice diving mark there by Hemming. But he had company and was happy to see the punch go over the boundary line.
We've talked about him before, Johnny, when we've paid visits to Kenny Park in 2026. Gus Smith, he's such a nice-looking mover, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a beautiful-looking player regards to his skill set near that left. And as you said, with Cole Stevens, one's a right footer, one's a left foot. He was off the bench there for about the first 10 minutes of the quarter, so good to see Angus get on.
Okay, so ball stalemated, out of side, left half forward for the Pies, who trail by 3 points.
Player in the middle here, all by himself, Hooker at centre half forward.
Pushed ahead. Let's see if it comes his way. One down by Frankel. Rowe was trying to pick it up at ground level. Mildura gets the numbers in and around the contest, but the Pies did well to hold him up on the outer side. Scotty Bedford's hit up a pretty couple of heavy tackles so far in this opening term.
He's so tough. He's really deceiving because he's got great outside skill.
Yeah.
But inside,
he's wiry and
strong, as we see. Ball spill down. Looks like that's going to be cleared out by Carter. It gets more height than it does distance, but coming through, could have been taking a juggling mark was Reynolds. Ball spills down front and centre as a pack forms. Ball spills to ground just forward of centre. Attacking side here for Mildura as we go. How far are we into this quarter at the moment? Silka, 18 minutes gone. Mildura leading 2-4-16 over Merbein 2-1-13 on the Kumiela Club scoreboard.
All right, here's a chance for Nolan. A nice bit of work from the pack. Gets it around to Dylan Murphy. His kick is up and under. A real opportunity from Mark. They didn't carry the prescribed 15-metre journey. They knock it out over the sideline, and we will get a reload. As Riddle said, we're to the 19-minute mark. So after 2 or 3 goals in the first 3 minutes, it's just become a bit more of an arm wrestle now. Both teams, I think, have settled into the tempo of the game nicely, as Mildura looking to try and get a win on that outer side centre wing. All still up for grabs. trying to knock it clear, Mildura. In comes Rogerson. Heavy tackle, good 4 or 5 blokes involved in that one. But again, we're going nowhere,
tough.
Ben.
Oh, she's a tough, little break over there in the other corner. At the moment, DFAB, we're probably not seeing the ball move really outside of about a 50-metre radius.
We're getting the backup rucks getting some good touches. Walker's stepped in for Mildura to help out with Phillips.
As you said, Walker and Frankel, they go in the ruck. Ball spills down over the back of the contest. Plugger Murphy immediately taken. So again, every time the ball spills to ground at the moment, there's certainly numbers around on the defensive side to be able to stop anyone getting out either way of the contest. Umpire Brewell will throw it up again. This time the win goes to Frankel. Somehow the ball spills into Nolan's hands with a little quick out of the air. Oh, Dusha has come in. He's fired up and he's nearly taken the head off there of Nolan, and he's certainly coming in with the physicality. Yeah. The umpires are just going to let this go at the moment.
No, I reckon there's a free kick coming the way of Rogerson, taken off the ball. But I was keenly watching Dusha pushing and shoving a bit with Nolan off the contest a couple of moments before that. So there's obviously a bit going on out there. We'll keep an eye on that one as Reynolds slides and catches it right half forward, sets it up inside the hot spot. Ash Rose got back to fill the breach though. And the former McLeod medalist sweeps a hand pass out here to Mickey Harradine. Comes inside. No, he stays out. Hand pass continues the chain of possession here for the Pies. Kick to no one really, but it's a win probably in the end because Costa just loses his feet at the inappropriate time when they might have been out of transition and turn it back the other way. We'll get a ball in right beneath us here in the Hot FM commentary box.
Yeah, Cooper Dodds will want his time back there with that kick, this time in the ruck. Walker tries to tap it down only as far as Bedford. Bedford's got Hemming on the outside and a great little handball inside to Donoghue, but he was met with a wall of Mildura players. Spills into Costa. Costa long down the line with the left foot looking for a marking kill. Ball spills down. It was a nice little rove there off the contest as the ball goes forward looking for Kerridge, top of the 50, but Harradine is playing a very, very smart game at the moment in front of Kerridge. And he's happy to punch that ball over the line.
Excuse me there, boys.
Yes, Johnny?
Just a bit of an update with Benny Dusha. Obviously at the end of his career, and there's no disrespect to that, he's a wonderful, wonderful player still, but I don't like him on half-back. I really don't. I want him half forward.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, to be honest, as the ball spills down in the hands of Donoghue. Gets it off to a running player. This time on the outer side, it was Smith. Ball intercepted by Rogerson. He reloads with a spearing kick inside, looking for Elijah Brown. The leading target takes it on his chest with a beautiful kick inboard. And he's going to be lining up for his 4th shot on goal for this quarter alone.
Simply nothing that the Magpie defence could do about that, DFAB. He's such a brilliant user of the footy. Just a bit of space separated in front of him, and he just absolutely nailed it straight to Brown, didn't he?
Yep, perfect lead by Brown too.
Okay, so Elijah's going to send this one out to the left. Bit of a captain hook on that one. Miners score the result. D's 2-5-17, Merbein 2-1-13. That is on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. We've got about 22 3/4 minutes gone in this, the opening term. It's your Hot FM Sunrise, your footy match of the day for Collie and Tierney. First National Real Estate. We've got one other game on for the split round 9, which is at the John James Oval. We'll give you an update shortly, but the Demons look like they're going ahead again here.
Yeah, ball just absolutely fell into the hands of the Mildura player at the moment. That looks like Gossman. So Gossman reloads, goes to the top of the square, flying from behind is Harradine again, and it's a big fist towards goal, and he's happy to see that one through for another rush behind. But at the moment, it's all the attack coming from the D's.
Yeah, just doing what he can to get a hand to it at the moment, isn't he, Harradine? And that's what you've got to do. There's some very good forwards there that know how to take a grab, so you just got to get in the way.
He's been pretty effective so far, I reckon, as the Pies are almost going to run themselves into danger here. They just had one too many chains in that piece of possession. Comes back for Hemming, swings around his body. A couple of Mildura boys just looked at each other, didn't know who wanted it. Phillips shoots it out, comes out to Murphy under pressure, taken heavily after the kick.
Wow, was he what?
And that will go down the field, I believe. Mark was taken as a result anyway by Zach McDonald, who squares it up nicely to Sam Kerridge. He marks just inside 50, slide angle Riddles in this left forward pocket.
Yeah, he's certainly more than capable of being able to kick this distance, Kerridge, but gee, that was a big hit there by Michael Hooker, and very gentlemanlike. He went straight down and put the hand out, lifted up his direct opponent, but just good sportsmanship. It was a fair hit. But Kerridge, he'll be lining up for his second after the first goal within the first probably 15 seconds of the game. He's going to kick right on 50, gives himself a little bit of room around, but it's going to be pushing right, may not even make the distance. The ball spills behind. Nate Bull's got a bit of work to do as the ball's quickly taken over the line. And another rush behind. Probably a couple of opportunities going begging at the moment here, Silko, in the first term.
This is actually one of the things that Mark Alvey highlighted after the game last week, was that just the first quarter they didn't take the most of their chances and didn't have the gap that he felt they should have going into quarter time against Wentworth.
All right, so the Pies trying to work their way out of danger here. On the broadcast side of the ground, they'll kick up towards the boundary side at half-back. Bedford front and centre, good hands. Brings it to ground nicely ahead of Brodie Jones. Just waiting for the next one to unfold here. McDonald, Tip and Woody presents, but they'll go shorter and find Hooker. Defensive side centre wing. Hooker now comes in board nicely. He's got options. And he's got it to Donahue here. He plays on around the man on the mark and goes long towards right half forward. McDonald, Tip and Woody. Oh, Mark is almost uncontestably taken by Hills. Probably took it a little bit lazy in the end. Should have been entitled to hang on to it. Demons are working tough back in defence here with Nowak, who goes inboard to McDonald. He's hit heavy after the contact. Now a chance for Lockyer. Little set-up kick is okay for Smith if he gets a bounce. He's in the van. He runs around Lukey Reynolds. Now a chance for Merbein's Page. Gets it to Kyle Stevens. What a passage is unfolding here. McDonald, Tip and Woody had the boots in concrete, Reynolds. Oh! He's been nailed on the ball, but Waller just absolutely comes to an abrupt halt right there.
Yeah, as you said, his feet stopped working. He was there, he was open, but just didn't see the player on his right-hand side in Camilo Lando. He kicks to the outer side. Mark attempt comes from the back there by Reynolds as the ball spills to ground into the hands of, it looks like that could be, is it Plugger Murphy? Trying to work his way around. It's a hurried kick inside the corridor, cut off by Bull. Bull's got a running teammate inside, Dodds. His head taken off by Zachy McDonald at centre half forward.
And I don't like it either, do they?
No, if we didn't think there was spite in the game, I can tell you what, there certainly is now. As Dodds immediately plays on, looking for Leckel. Leckel's got a couple to beat, tries to shepherd his way through. Ball spills down front and centre, lands in the hands of Rogerson, gives the handball out wide to Costa, and Costa finds Reynolds on half-back.
Johnny, just down to you for Fatty Boomba. Luke Reynolds, he's certainly got the engine running flat out today. He's all over the ground, isn't he?
Yeah, look, he is. And he's that target in for that next kick because he's a big lump of a boy too.
Kick up towards Kerridge at left half forward, picks it up on the half volley beautifully, squares it up nicely.
Reynolds.
Here he is. He just kept running. No Merbein player went with him, and he was right in the guts on the siren. What a place to be for Lukey Reynolds. Kicked 5 last weekend. And he'll go back at this set shot. They've had 9 scoring shots to 3, Ben, but they only lead by 6 points. So this is almost a must-get for them, isn't it?
It's a must-get, but it's exactly what you just said, Silko. He was gut running through the middle of the ground, and he took that kick from half-back and found himself all by himself, 30 metres directly out in front as he lines up here after the siren. It's looking good off the boot. He's happy with it off the boot, and that's exactly what the D's wanted going into quarter time. And that just extends the lead by 2 straight goals here at Kenny Park. Mildura, they are 3-7-25 leading Merbein, 2-1-13 on the Kumiella Club scoreboard. And it was a very much needed goal to finish off the first quarter, Silko, and what an exciting first quarter it was.
No doubt about it. We're going to send it back to the Burn Court Studios for some sponsor messages. Then we'll come back and look at the goal kickers and better players in that first term. It's your Collie and Tierney Sunraysia footy match of the day here on Hot FM. Back to Kenny Park. It is quarter time in our match of the day this afternoon, and it is Mildura 3-7-25 leading Merbein at 2-1-13. Our goal kickers for the Demons, singles for Elijah Brown, Sam Kerridge and Lukey Reynolds right on the quarter time siren. Meanwhile, for the Maggies, Nigel Lockyer and Noah Hills. Paddy Silcox alongside of Benny Ridley and Michael D. Fabrizio. John Hollywood is down on the sideline for us for Fatty Boomba. We'll catch up with John shortly because he's no doubt pulled out there to have a listen at some of those quarter time addresses. But boys, who are some of your better players? Let's go to the Demons for you. First up, DFAB.
Yeah, look, I thought Zach Phillips in the ruck probably had the match-up advantage and looked pretty good in there, but I really like Rogerson through the midfield. Obviously, Elijah Brown was leading very well, creating chances, and probably could have had a couple more goals than the one he got, but certainly put himself in the right position to do a bit of damage. And I think there was quite a few going through the list. Hurley down back as well seemed to be getting involved.
Yeah, certainly active down the back there, wasn't he, Hurley?
Yeah, Nathan Nolan was a pretty impressive starter as well. That match-up with he and Benny Dusha was really intriguing to watch unfold. Unsung hero for me, I reckon, Tyler Costa. Very workmanlike, very blue-collar-like. Certainly just plays his role, and he was very calm under pressure. He was certainly besieged upon a couple of times, and I thought he held his ground very well.
Yeah, as you said, he's probably just a really unheralded player, but you just know what you're going to get there with Tyler Costa. He's not going to waste too many disposals, but he's always there at the fall of the ball. And he's
for
quite
a
tough.
nice clearance as well at one point, so he's getting involved.
Yeah, I think so. For Merbein, I really like the start with Noah Hills.
Yep.
Really good battle in the middle of the ground there with him and Mitchie Rogerson. Scott and Trooper Bedford have been really active right across the ground at the moment, but also Michael Hooker. He's had a fairly influential play across half-back and also on the wing, but I really like Michael Harradine on Sam Kerridge as well. So he's
working all right, that matchup, isn't it?
It was one of the ones that I was really concerned about probably when we first saw it, but he's played really well. He's been playing in front and just allowed himself to be able to obviously read what's coming in, but that's probably where they've also been able to, as you said, DFAB, use the likes of Elijah Brown, who's had 4 shots on goal in the first quarter there, and I think he's ended up with 2-2, if I'm correct. Is that right, Silko?
Just the one.
Oh, the one.
He's
Okay.
had
One
quite a few cracks at it.
Well,
It's
actually,
been
it really
dangerous.
was 2-2,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
we did have him there for one initially,
the VAR, yes. And you called them both perfectly, but Angus Smith with the white boots and Kyle Stevens with the black boots have both been prominent as well.
Fantastic, DFAB. Down to John Hollywood for Fatty Boomba. John, who did you push out to have a listen to?
To the Merbein huddle, boys, because I actually wanted to see what the common sense was to some of the decisions, and the Dusha and all that sort of stuff. For me, Dusha either plays forward where a young backman picks him up, where he's not chasing young forwards. I don't like that. He's going to give you 5 minutes of sheer footy, so I'd stand him right next to the centre forward, and obviously him to be on the ground and then do the contest from there. And look, they're really happy with some of their stuff. They just said some of their skill errors, their discipline was down, that sort of stuff. I think it's more the matchups. Some of them I don't agree with. I don't mind Justin Frankel in the ruck as the backup. That's not a bad decision. Obviously, get a big backman fit for finals, that sort of stuff, who's missed a few senior games. But besides that, a couple of the decisions they've made, I didn't like some of the rotations for me. I don't say that much.
Interestingly enough, we're actually starting with Michael Hooker in the ruck this quarter.
I was about to say, yes. So they're changing it up.
So they're probably going for that athleticism.
Yep.
He's got that leap in him. So, but Tyler Costa, as you mentioned, he's going into the middle of the ground on Smith. So that'll be a fascinating contest there.
Okay, underway, second term at Kenny Park. Hooker v Phillips. Phillips emphatically down to Rogerson, who loses his feet. Ooh. Not sure there's a free kick in that, but the umpire decides elsewise. So Mitchie Rogerson will take it here for Mildura, and they may well be the first team to go inside the forward 50. It's a floating thing. I might have mozzed him. Does get it inside of attacking 50. Batted down by Keel. Out front is Nolan. Shoots it back to Rojo. Another mongrel off the left, and it's intercepted by Angus Smith.
The two of the worst kicks can see. For a Rolls Royce, he's just brought out the Corolla boots as the ball spills out wide. It's a beautiful kick looking for Hills. Could have been pushed into the contest there. The umpire says no. Spills back over the contest, and it's a kick this time nicely taken by Rogerson. Goes to half forward, but cut off in defence, and that's a really nice mark there. Just having a look there for Aris. So he's done a couple of things early as he gets the handball off to Smith. Smith with a nice delivery down the line. Diving mark taken by Hills on centre wing. He's not going to waste the ball. He's just waiting to see what happens. So he goes with a short kick, looking for Leckel. He takes it nicely, just below his waist. As he plays on immediately, he tries to sell the candy, but he didn't know what he was doing. So he goes inboard. Ball was not taken cleanly there by any player as the ball spills out again to Gossman. Gossman
what a tackle!
Gives it to Nolan, who's immediately taken by Tipper Moody.
Wow.
And really didn't see him coming at all anywhere, did he? So Nolan, he really didn't have any opportunity and was immediately run down. So the ball's immediately played on, looking for
it's
beautiful. It's Lockyer in the corner, but I'll tell you what, it's not really to advantage of Lockyer as a left footer. And he's been going to be kicking right on the boundary here for the left footer on the wrong side.
Check side, you reckon?
Check side, he's going to have to go, I reckon, Silko.
Okay. Gee, that was like being hit by a car from behind, wasn't it there, Nathan Nolan? My goodness. Could feel the impact from here. No, he's going to go with the traditional drop punt. Lockyer! Don't tell me he's flustered from there. Oh, get stuffed.
Yeah.
You can't do that sort of stuff, can you?
This is ridiculous. We did not give him anything. And as you said, we thought he was going to at least go the banana, and then he comes out with the drop punt and does not even look like missing straight off the boot.
Taking the P155 there, boys.
Straight down the middle.
Wow.
He could take a penalty shootout for us.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, we needed him this morning, and more on that later. What were they thinking?
No, we won't go. In fact, I don't reckon we want to go there.
Don't get me started.
No.
Gosh. But I'll tell you what, Lockyer, fantastic. And it's exactly what they needed to get the start of this first quarter. But it was all down to that big tackle, as you said, by McDonald, Tipper Moody. And I wouldn't want to be tackled from behind by Tipper at all.
No, managed to keep it in the zone perfectly for the home side as Hooker goes up early before acceptances. Rowe with a quick hand pass. Mildura try and run it through Lahu. Kicks from the cricket pitch and inside out. Torp. It's going to work because Reynolds just really anticipated perfectly. Marks at centre half forward from 50. Bullets one to an open goal square. The bounce will determine. It's going to head and hook off to the left-hand side. Maybe should have gone back and taken the set shot there, Lukey. Yes, John Hollywood.
Yeah, just quickly, Page has now gone to, obviously, Kerridge. They've changed it up a bit. And Bull's gone to centre half back on Reynolds. And obviously, we've got Hooker in the ruck.
Gee, Hawley's having a day out in the box today. He is absolutely swinging the changes. He's asking plenty of questions of our mate Mark Albie.
I'll tell you what, but that's what we want. We want the coaches to be able to play around with those chess pieces.
50.
Yeah, so I don't know what it was. Maybe it was an infringement from Zachy McDonald there. Maybe just a little bit of arguing because he didn't look like he went off the line. Either way, Hemming is taking an absolute advantage of it. He plays on immediately, kicks long to the top of the 50, flying his Lockyer. Could have been pushed out of the contest.
He was.
He's going to get another look at goal here. He's second in the space of 30 seconds. And there wasn't much in it. It was just a little nudge there at the hips there by Benny Hurley, who's pleading the case.
Johnny, just down to you. Has he pulled up a little bit lame after that, Lockyer? Just keeping an eye on him there. Yeah,
he
is it
has.
that
He
left
took one
leg?
step and he sort of twisted his ankle a bit there. Or at first I thought he reached for the back of his Achilles, but hopefully not.
He doesn't want to kick it. I reckon that's a concern as he gets it to Hooker, who plays on from 50, floats it in, but it's going to stay to the far side. Minor score is the
he's
result.
looking over at the bench too.
Yeah, so Merbein move along now to 3-2-20 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. D's the 3-8-26. And we've ticked over 4 and 20 seconds in this second term for Club Aquarius Baronga on Hot FM.
Buekner with a big clearing ball down the line. Punch comes from Harradine. Spills down to Max Kill. Big, don't argue. Could have been too high. The umpire saw it the same as we did as Angus Smith picks his nose up off the ground. So at left half forward, he'll take the free kick, immediately plays on with that beautiful left foot. He's looking for a leading target in Bedford. And it just lands in his lap. Lee, who went a little bit too early, misjudged it. He's jumped.
Nigel's coming to us now, boys.
Yeah, he is, and he is very, very ginger. So we hope that it's nothing too serious and he can just get that magic spray. As we look at Bedford, who's going to be kicking right on 50, probably about 3 metres in here from the old change room side.
Is he going to go the drop punt, you reckon?
I think he has to go the drop punt, doesn't he? But he's just as likely to sell the candy as well.
He might run around a little bit to open her up here. Let's see what he does. Scotty Bedford sets it up. It's not great off the boot. It's going to hang out to the right. Lock on the back!
Oh, no.
Oh, he couldn't clutch it at the second attempt.
Oh, he nearly made something out of nothing. Immediately played on out of full back. Buekner, he's got a player running past in Rogerson. He elects to just go a little bit wide. And instead of using that teammate, finds Seward. So Seward, he's in left back pocket, goes inboard. He's got a player in Price. Price uses a left foot, goes across the face of goal to Hurley. Hurley with a short measured kick, gets it outside of the defensive 50 and finds Nolan. Nolan's got Price inboard if he wants. It's a little bit too hot. The ball's gone over the back, lands in the hands of Bedford. Bedford again with an average kick looking for Leckel, but didn't hit the mark, and it again lands in the hands of Seward, but they're just going sideways at the moment, not really able to get any movement. DeRosa.
It's on the bounce almost, that one's a Nolan. Plays on quickly. DeRosa will run down the line here. Hand pass towards Costa. He's been very steady so far. His left foot floater on Mosdim. He turns it over as well to Donahue, who plays on. He's got a couple of options. He's got Waller, but Hurley come through and fists clear beautifully and goes and finds his own footy on that outer side near the Kumiala Club scoreboard. He'll get it back and now just steadies himself off the right boot. That's a great piece of play from Ben Hurley, and the Demons are out of danger.
Much better, as the ball again was an average kick going forward, intercepted by Dusha. Dusha on the outer side. Looks inboard, goes to centre half forward. It's the leading Frankel. Frankel can play on immediately if he likes. He switches across the ground. It's not a great kick, but timing it perfectly was Hooker, who gets the mark in front of his direct opponent, the other ruckman in Phillips. He's got a leading forward inside 50. He looks for him. He finds him. And kicking from near on the exact same spot as only a couple of minutes ago is Scott Bedford. And again, we'll probably kick from about 45, only 5 metres in from the left-hand boundary.
Just down to you, John, for Fatty Boomba. Do you feel like the Pies have maybe pushed Bedford forward now that Lockie's off the ground just to give them that extra target?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened as part of the rotation. There's no doubt about that. So, and obviously give him more strength down back with, with other people going back there for him to be able to go forward like he has.
All right, we'll come back to you shortly for an update on Nigel Lockyer, as Bedford this time doesn't kick it great at all. Hasn't been striking them comfortably all afternoon so far. So another minor score, the results, even though the scoreboard's gone the goal. They're getting a bit excited here at Kenny Park this afternoon.
Have a look at the scoreboard.
Now we've had the Demons score wiped. Well, this is making life hard to follow. Johnny, just quickly, update on Nigel Lockyer, please.
At this stage, boys, so he's got his ankle taped and he's obviously putting his shoes and that back on now, so hopefully he's going to be all right.
Okay.
I'm a little bit worried about Harry Walder running this scoreboard over here.
Turn it up.
Have a look at this. He's just put the D's no score at all. As we see the ball taken out wide.
Good chase from Douche has got him!
The old dog has some life left in the legs as he runs down a rampaging Reynolds. And on the hill here, the Walder Hill, funny enough.
Yes.
They have gone absolutely ballistic. So a quick little play on could be inboard if he wants it through hooker. Doesn't react quick enough, so goes long down the line, and it's a beautiful kick to a leading Hills. Hills right under our nose, goes inboard, finds Bedford. He's going everywhere. It's the 1-2 from Hooker.
Yeah,
Hooker inboard to Donoghue. Donoghue, centre half forward. It's a nice chip kick, looking for a marking Hemming. But Hurley, as he's done so many times before, comes through with a beautiful intercept mark.
Yeah, DFAD, they've got to try and steer clear of the number 29. He's just chipping them out every time, isn't he?
It's a bit hard because it was like a spider web, and he was the one in the middle. He was right in the middle of all the different contests they could have kicked to, so wherever they went, he was going to float to it.
Yeah, he's controlling the tempo.
A spider web, I like it.
Controlling the tempo nicely is Lehu now. We'll go back to Hurley, so they're not getting much real estate outside of defensive 50. He's going to get Whistle to play on here, Ben, quickly. Bedford will advance on the mark. He comes back to Lehu. So this press from Merbein is working a treat.
Oh, they are absolutely suffocating him at the moment as Lehu again. Now he's got no options anywhere. So he goes to centre half back. But coming through is Dusha. And on the second grab, a nice intercept mark. He immediately plays on to Hooker. Hooker's got a player running past, but he probably didn't need to give the ball. Was a little bit too anticipating, and it spills out now to Price. So Price has got a paddock in front of him, but he elects to use the ball, goes short to Kerridge. Kerridge on the wing's going to kick forward down the line to a running McDonald. McDonald takes it 60 metres out, left half forward. Again, nothing really happening up the ground, so he's just going to look to kick long to the top of the square, looking for the danger spot with a nice mark from behind was Noel, and the ball's punched from behind. He tries to rove his own contest, and he'll be happy with what's happened here. 30 metres out directly in front, his calls to ball up. But it just gives them an opportunity here to reload Silco and just maybe slow the tempo down a little bit and hopefully get a crucial goal that they much need.
10-minute mark of this second turn. The Demons in front just by 4 points as it's won clearly there by Merbein. They'll get it out to Donoghue, who hand passes back into traffic. That was dangerous. Here's a chance there for Pinion. Gets it out there to Hills, who taps it on the ground. Comes inside an opponent. Sweeps the handball. Had no one to go to, though. Rogerson, about a 25-metre hand pass down the line. DeRosa bats it to his own advantage, kicks up beautifully, finds an option, and mark taken there. Is it Sammy Gossman? He got off the chain there in that right forward pocket, and they just thought their way out of danger, didn't they?
It didn't blaze away as well. They just looked for those nice little short options, just tried to retain the ball in a little bit of chaos. And Gossman with a nice leading mark, but it's going to take his absolute best here as he's kicking right on the boundary here at the point of the 50. So he goes with a safety, top of the square, flying is Kerridge. Ball beats everybody. Spills over the line. And that sees Mildura extend that lead. 3-10-28 leading Merbein. 3-4-22, 9 minutes gone here in the second term. No, it's 11 and a half gone, is it?
We'll stick with the phone because we're still having those scoreboard issues at the moment. It will come good, don't you worry.
Harry Walder's not trying to manipulate the score at all.
Hills kicks down the line to Bedford, who may have been pushed out of the contest. Mildura through Walker. Managed to get possession. Ball comes back here to Rogerson. They're under pressure, though. Bouchen has got to try and step around a couple. I reckon he's in trouble. Play on to advantage for Merbein. McDonald Tippermoody gets it up to Frankel, the big guy. Comes inside off his left. Bullets one. Nicely to Trooper Bedford. Centre half forward for Trooper to an open goal square. Does it bounce through? In fact, it's not even going to score. It will stay in the field of play.
So Hurley picks the ball up. Nice little measured kick to DeRosa, but he's dropped an absolute Monty. Put pressure under himself unnecessarily. Goes to Fordham. Fordham gives it to Jones, who didn't even see the ball coming. Smothered by Stevens. Stevens goes back to Hemming. Hemming's got players in the middle of the ground. He finds Rowe. Rowe's got Hills running past if he needs. He doesn't elect to use him. Instead, he plays on. He gives it absolutely everything he can, but it was an absolute horrid kick to nobody, and it's intercepted by Lehu.
Yeah, they're looking lost, aren't they, without Lockie there across half forward. Again, Mildura turned it over with another horrid kick out of defence, and it's intercepted there by Kyle Stevens in the left forward pocket. He marked just inside the 50-metre arc, so he'll kick from that position when he sets sail. But, gee whiz, we've seen some football butchered in the last 5 minutes, Ben Ridley.
It was a minute of mistakes, wasn't it? Absolutely horrid. You couldn't have got more intercepts if you tried, DFAB, and this time it's going to land in the hands of the black-booted, long-sleeved Kyle Stevens. He'll be kicking from 52, tries to give himself a little bit of width. It's a mongrel punt going to the top of the 50. As going at the bottom of the ball, tries to come through as Lee, who quickly met by McDonald Tipamori. A clearing kick out of the contest. Deep in defence goes by Gossman. But again, it's disputed ball, top of the 50. Hemming immediately tackled as soon as he picked the ball up by Reynolds. And maybe this is just going to be the slowdown that we need to see an actual target hit by Boot.
Had to come up the ground a long way. Lukey Reynolds to find the footy. Kicks it right underneath us in the hot box. He's got options. Out front is Keel. Marks in front there of Harradine, who just pulled up a little ginger. Keel now assesses his options downfield.
Has he got an R.M. Williams tattoo on his bicep?
It sort of looks like it, doesn't it? I didn't want to say it, but anyway, right up forward is the kick. And another intercept mark defensively. This time for Merbein. And both defences are almost impassable at the moment. It's really tough to come up with a sausage roll in this second term. Here's Lockle, puts his body up. Here's Harradine. Nice hand pass and tight confines. Keel goes to Murphy. Quick kick, up and high, probably went about 11 metres. They go up for it, bit of front-on contact. Umpire allows it to play on. Here's Hooker. They go and get some separation out wide
Lockie
here.
is back on, boys. Lockie is back on. He's gone to full forward. Still a bit proppy, though.
Okay.
Have a look at him there. He's deep.
He is deep. The ball was in the right forward pocket with Trooper Bedford there underneath the Kumiella Club scoreboard. Little chip up here for McDonald. Tipamori clunks at the big fella. Right in that boundary side there underneath the Kumi Club scoreboard. He'll go back for a shot on goal. Round about 35, 40 metres out. I haven't quite got the binoculars on Nigel yet, but he's not moving as freely as he'd like.
Yeah, just with the leg just a bit stiff, and that takes away his advantage in that matchup against Bushner. He was really sprinting away from him earlier to get himself in the position where he got injured, but now the pace isn't going to be on his side.
As you said, that's his strength, is the agility. As we see, Tipper comes in with his typically very slow, laconic kicking style. It looks good off the boot. He's happy off the boot, and it puts the Maggies in front here deep into the second quarter. 15 minutes gone, and that will be the first time here outside of, will be the first time today, probably outside of the first 3 minutes where we had a flurry of 3 goals, that the Maggies hit the front of the scoreboard. So 4-4-28, leading Mildura 3-9-27 on the Kumiella Club scoreboard. But, geez, he's just got such a beautiful style about him, doesn't he? He's just so laconic coming in, and just, there's no rushing whatsoever.
Great to watch. Johnny, down to you for Fatty Boombar after that shootout that looked like it was going to present itself in the first 3 or 4 minutes. She's a dead set Dower struggle now.
She's a Dower struggle because of those backlines, guys. Both of them have got their backlines, I reckon, fairly right, and obviously they're hitting pretty hard, but the on-ballers are under pressure as they're kicking, so that's causing those turnovers.
Here we go with Brodie Jones. Gets the hand pass received from Dylan Murphy. Goes up towards half forward looking for Reynolds. Nolan out the back with Pinion. Young bloke's got to try and keep his feet here. He's paddling up to advantage. Does go to ground. Merbein to get some support in there for him though. Dusha ferrets out the hand pass front and centre. Here's Fordham. Swings a hand pass back to Zachy Mack. Throws it inside to no one in particular. Here's a chance for Pettit. Needs support. He might have thrown it in the end. He was just a little bit slow.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah, he virtually went back inboard. He didn't realise that the players were so hot. So 55 metres out, Mitchie Rogerson goes back in looking for a leading target towards the boundary.
What an effort that is.
In Kerridge. But Noah Hills, who's been fantastic all day, he's had a great start as he's intercepted the mark with a short kick, finds Hooker. Still inside defensive 50, so he goes with a spearing kick that's cut off by Plugget Murphy. In the middle of the ground, he's got a player all by himself on the outside. Horrible kick, but he does find Lando. It snaps around the body. Intercepted by Harradine. This is one of the worst 10 minutes of football I've seen in a long, long time.
And now we get a free kick that's going to go the way of Elijah Brown, I think it is, from Mildura.
I don't even know what the free kick was for.
It's almost like we're watching a pre-season trial here. Like these blokes haven't had a game for 6 months. all of a sudden, I mean, the first 5 or 10 minutes, DFAB, were clean as you'll ever see.
That's exactly right. And now it's just sort of, I think it's become a bit more of a contested game. Obviously, you can see by the back of Murphy's jumper that they're getting a bit muddied and on the ground with each other. So it's just bogged down a bit.
We need to ask Johnny Hollywood if they've switched the footy over with a bar of soap. 30 metres out, directly in front. It's a horrid kick off the boot by Elijah Brown. And it wobbles through somehow for a behind, but that has probably culminated and topped off what we've seen in the last 10 minutes, Silko. That is exactly what it deserves.
I shouldn't be laughing, but I am. Johnny, down to you. What's going on out there?
No, down here we're not exactly sure. Young Pricey was just talking to me, saying the same thing. Pretty atrocious 5 minutes, and I couldn't agree more with him. As he said to me, though, the conditions are pretty good out there, except for some patches. So maybe it's just the pressure, boys.
Okay, here's Nate Bill for the Pies. He kicks down the line to find a target in Kyle Stevens. He's going to consider the quick hand pass. I reckon a Mildura man has run through the zone. Is that Zachy Mack, who's come back after a bit of a hiatus? Just a lack of game awareness there from the young man.
That's where the 50 was given last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly where Zachy Mack was. This time he's not going to run. So inside Stevens finds Donahue, a true centre-half forward. He's got the umpire trying to trip him up. Again, not rushing the next kick here. So he elects to go long, looking for a leading mark over the back. Coming through again was Hurley, but the ball doesn't stick into the hand. He's immediately tackled. And no, good call by the umpire there. So
he's given away kick hurls there, I reckon.
Gee, that's really unlike Hurley to get so frustrated. Yeah,
he just sort of rolled over and just the forearm into the side of the Merbein player who's on the ground. You don't want to see that sort of gear. And as you can imagine, players getting a little bit hot under the collar. But it results in an opportunity here for Merbein. We're all locked up, would you believe it, on the Kumiella Club scoreboard at the 18 and 3/4 minute mark. Merbein 4-4, Mildura 3-10. As we see some more changes for Merbein on and off the ground. But we are with the number 19, Lucas Pettit. He's kicking towards the Merbein common end of the ground. He's very much highly in concentration over this effort. He'll kick from around about 35-40 metres out. Let's see what his form's like. The run-up is good. The kick is horrendous. It's not going to score, I don't think, is it? No, it won't. Wowee. DFAB, have you got any words?
Please. I don't know what you can give that, to be honest. We'll shake it off and hopefully be better for the next time.
I'm actually speechless. As we see the ball go inboard, this time to Buechner. Buechner, isn't it?
We schooled you before the game.
That. We said that. I know. As the ball spills out wide. So now you've got me all flustered. But the ball goes long down the line, looking for Fordham. Fordham goes. No, it's Jones. I apologise. So Jones on centre wing gives the quick handball off to Gossman. Gossman with a short kick looking for a leading target in Nolan. Ball's punched from behind. He has to turn back inboard, but it's a nice kick back inside to Jones. He's got Kerridge in the corridor for he'd like. He's elected not to use him. Nothing really doing inside 50, so he just kicks in Hope looking for a marking option. Coming through is that marking option in Maxi Keel. And a juggling mark. He was the fourth player in the line. No one really saw him coming through, and on the second attempt has taken a nice grab, and he's going to be kicking from 40 metres out and really not much of an angle, and right behind him we can see the Australian flag doing absolutely nothing. So the wind won't be any type of problem for him.
Just wanted it more than everybody else, Maxie, at the end of the day, as he set sail out front of the Merbein social rooms, kicks pretty truly off the boot, hits the stick.
Wow.
Trying to score 3-11, 29 for Mildura, 4-4, 28 for Merbein. My goodness, what a staggering contest this is turning out to be. It's 1 versus 2, by the way, if you didn't know, here at Kenny Park this afternoon on Hot FM.
We're actually all looking at each other with our mouths open, just in disbelief. So Hemming, left half back. Left pocket, we should say, and plays on around the man on the mark, goes with everything he can to clear it out. Phillips has got front position, nudged out nicely by Pettit. Left half back, Pettit elects to go wider again. He's going to make it hard for Leckel. He's got 3 to beat. Up to it, though, as the ball gets taken front and centre to Bedford. Could have been legged out of the contest. Leckel comes through and tries to rip the absolute head off Big Jack Walker. He's angry at the moment, the big Leck. And right underneath our nose, Jackie Walker's going to be taking his head and a kick.
I thought that tackle was okay for me. He grabbed him from over the top behind and just grabbed him by the jumper. But anyway, we play on towards right half forward. Another intercept for the Pies. This time it's Gussie Smith. So he quickly gives off towards Bedford, who sells it to Bennett Reynolds. Then a chance to come down the line to look for Ash Rowe. It'll clear the initial contest, but Rowe got a hand on it just to held him up a little bit. Goes back again, Ash Rowe, needs support. Now he's got one to slap it back to, and that's Hemming. Hemming kicks around his body.
Kick.
That was good vision, wasn't it? He had options centre field. One of those was M. Hooker, as Ben Dusha breaks on the outer side, beats the tackle, plays on with the mark, kicks up to Lockyer out front. He just can't raise a gallop, though, can he? Booster led him to the race pretty comfortably that time, and he'll find an option in Nathan Nolan, who marks on the outer side.
I'd be getting him off, boys. I'd be taking him off. I wouldn't risk it. I'd get him off. I'd put Frankel forward, put him deep, put him at full forward, and just get him off.
I agree. When Bobby Boucher-Buchan has beaten you to the contest there, it's time to come off the ground. So the ball's in the hands of Brodie Jones on the outer wing here again, electing not to just play on. He just goes long down the line, waiting for the contest to form. From behind, really no one going for it. So the ball spills down front and centre to Rowe. Rowe with a nice handball out to the outer side, finds Smith. Smith with a short kick. He's got Hooker. So Hooker has players in the corridor in Bedford. He uses him. So Bedford, again, nothing really happening for him up the ground. So he just waits for something to happen. He spears it in.
Yeah, well done.
And somehow threads the needle and finds Pettit, who's going to kick from the top of the 50. He plays on, shells a bit of candy to Costa. Kicks high, long, but it's not going to make the distance. And going back with the juggling mark. Oh, he's juggled it over the line.
Yes, yeah.
Jeez, you wouldn't want to tell a 1 point game at the end of the day, would you?
No. So.
All right, Benny Hurley now looks to try and clear the decks for Mildura. Just going to say that Pettit's providing to be a little bit of an option for them across half forward. Hasn't used the footy great, but he certainly had a couple of marks in that second term, which, as you hear in the background, is now over. And it is half time here in our match of the day for Colin Tierney First National Real Estate, 1 versus 2, and it is a slight. In fact, no one's in front. It's all locked up as I look back at the scoreboard. Mildura 3-11-29, Merbein 4-5-29. We'll slip back for a few sponsor messages, and we are back here at Kenny Park on Hot FM Sunrays, your footy, your match of the day, the top of the table clash for Collie and Tierney First National Real Estate, and we are all squared away. Mildura 3-11-29. Merbein 4-5-29 for the Pies. Nigel Lockie with 2, but we seem to feel that he may not add to that tally for the rest of the afternoon, unfortunately. Goal also in tow for Noah Hills and Anthony McDonald. Tip and Woody, meanwhile, for Mildura. Singles going courtesy of Elijah Brown, Sam Kerridge and Luke Reynolds. Pat Silcox, Ben Ridley, Michael Di Fabrizio and John Hollywood with you. I'm going to step aside and let the three wise men try and come up with some sort of sense.
Before you go,
right?
Did everyone pick up on that little giggle at the start when he started reading out the scores? I was like, we know it was a tough watch, but even the little giggle there was that probably said it all, D-Fab, because it was a very tough watch there, especially deep into that second quarter. It was not pretty footy, and it was one of those things. I think we came off the air, Johnny, and we were talking about, all right, well, let's pick out the good things, and I think defensively sound was the word that we come across.
Defensively sound,
both teams are setting up well. That's the kind way to put it, because they're getting into the spots to disrupt what the other team's trying to do, but it means there's a lot of turning the ball over.
We can't knock the commitment. We can't knock the contest. That's fine, isn't it? It's 1 versus 2. There's a contest, all that sort of stuff. Look, it is slippery in these patches. You can see the ground. We're up a bit high. You can see where the black patches are. It's actually quite muddy and it's clay and that sort of stuff. Down here in the flank, that sort of stuff. But there's no excuse for what's going on. Even the players are shocked for the skill level coming inside the 50, outside the 50, into the centre. I am going to say this. I'm going to put my coach's hat on, mate.
I agree with what you're going to say.
Look, I don't like when a team that's first or second, when they start making changes at this time of year. I just don't like it. I know we tend to think that Merbein are great forward, but I actually think it's their defence. I know they're getting defensive kicks against, what are they, 6 or something, aren't they?
6,
yeah, but they're very attacking, and the thing that drives them is the hookers off half-back or the back pocket, the Dodds off half-back, the Hemmings that's half-back or back pocket, and obviously you've got lots to rotate. Noah Hill sometimes will play there at the start of the year. I don't like their defence. Look, Douche is a wonderful player for me. Whack him at full forward.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to now. I think the other thing too, and you're exactly right what you're saying, Johnny, is it's the unnecessary changes that you start to look at and you go, I'm not sure why you're trying to do this. But also, sometimes when you're going up against a side like this and against Mildura, you know you're going to play them in finals. If you are going to try these things, unfortunately, these games aren't the ones to trial it on, because the teams pick it apart. They're going to sit there and understand, okay, well, is this your plan B or is this your plan C? And you start giving away secrets. But going forward, if Lockyer does go down, then I don't know about you, D-Fab, I just think that Douche is going to be much better across half forward to be able to give a contest.
You don't want a bloke at 35, 36, 37 who's been a wonderful player and much better player than most of us sitting here. He is a great player. He's tough, he's hard. He's going to chase that down like he did then, but that's going to take a lot out of him, chasing a Reynolds down, chasing a young 23-year-old stud. You don't want him doing that. I want him down there. I want someone looking at him going, hey, this is dangerous. This is a bloke that's played VFL footy. I don't want to be standing next to him. He's probably going to clobber me, mark me as much. So I want that change. I don't want him running down. They've got plenty of running carry players.
And the big bodies. So you get Lickle down there, Tip and Woody McDonald down there, you get Douche down there, and then you get the nimble players like Bedford, both Scott and Trooper.
They've got tons of leg speed there.
They've got these players that are coming through. true, but I like the thought of having someone like a hooker across half-back because he
Same.
uses the ball really nicely and he's going to give you penetration and drive. And a lot of the times, too, with Hooker isn't that typical player that looks down the line. He usually looks inboard, either goes to the corridor or for the switch, and that's where you need to open the game up.
And last time we called here, DFAB was against Redcliffe's, and that's how they lined up. Hooker was one half-back flank. You had Gus Smith on the other at various stages. You had Noah Hills on the other, and that's where their game comes from for me. That's where they start.
And we knew that going in, that was their strength, that those players that can break the lines or they can create something out of nothing. And I think the worry was that coming up against the top team, that they would be like, oh no, we need to maybe get back a little bit more. We need to do this, and it moves away from, I guess, the identity that they've forged this year.
And what did you say at the start of the game? Don't go away from attacking, yes? So what they've done is they've changed their defence, which has now stopped their attack for me. That's my personal opinion. It's stopped their run and carry. So it's shut them down offensively, even though it's their defence is what they've changed.
And talking about defence too, so what I found intriguing is Nate Bull hasn't been, and not only do them, you're spot on, their matchups are nearly identical. They are nearly the perfect matchup for either side, which is hence the scoreboard that we're seeing at the moment. But their game styles and the way they like to play are very, very similar to each other, and so they're very, very strong defensively around the contest, both sides. It's lockdown football, and then try and get the release on the outside. But what's happening is they're both reading each other's playbook. They know what's happening before it happens, and it's an intriguing thing now. And you mentioned it down earlier on the sidelines, Johnny. It's now a coach's chess game to figure out, okay, well, who's going to make the move, who's going to be able to break it apart, and you called it earlier, this web that we're trying to untangle.
That's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
And it might, because they match up so well, it might be something like the Lockyer injury that just mixes everything around.
And it should. It has to.
It frees up Bushner to play a different role. Maybe he actually finds a direct opponent, and that frees up Hurley to just be permanently loose around the back, and maybe that starts their drive off half back. So it's the injuries and things like that could be what just upsets the apple cart a bit, and everything moves around.
I wouldn't put him back on. That's just me personally. He spoke to me himself, and he said, I got a knock just above my ankle on the front near the shin. He said, it just feels a bit funny. They've taped his ankle and all that sort of stuff, but I said, it wasn't an ankle, was it? He said, no, it was up higher in the shin. So he's copped one in the shin, and he said, I'm not sure if it's broken or not. And he sort of said that to me, and I went, oh, okay.
It was very innocuous. Like, when we saw it, he sort of, all of a sudden, it just come out of nowhere, and we're like, oh,
they hit legs.
Yeah,
they actually hit legs as they crossed, like a soccer. The two soccer players do that sort of stuff without shin guards, that sort of stuff. So it was just higher up in the ankle. So that's what caused that.
He handled it a lot better than a soccer player, because if he was a soccer player, the game would have been called off by now, I reckon. So, but I think, look, at the end of the day, we've got the two best sides in the competition. They're absolutely locked at loggerheads at the moment. We're sitting here at half time looking at where it's going to open up, which just means that the second half is going to be amazing to be able to sit back and watch. The contest has been ferocious, and this is the thing. Damien Hall, Elvie and Kerridge, we've got probably the best coaching staff hanging around either side here at the moment. I think it sets up for a great second half of footy.
It's going to be a ripper second half of footy just because of what we're seeing. The contest is great. The contest is fine. The attacking and the running power has been wonderful. There's no doubt about that. And I agree with you. Don't be surprised if Lockyer does stay off, and that mixes it up a bit. And sometimes being forced as a coach is a good thing.
Oh, well,
because then you're not making choices. You're not second-guessing yourself. You're not trying to create something. Sometimes as a coach, I used to love coaching when something happened and I had to make the change. Because there's your decision made. Been made for you by somebody else, the opposition bloke, or you've lost someone. You've got no choice. If Bull's got to play in the ruck, great. He's not going to send up back. He's not going to full back. He's going where he has to play.
Camilo Lando, he's come down with a jacket. He's off. Is there any news what's going on there?
No, I didn't see him get injured at all. I didn't see him come off. I know he was part of the rotations, but I certainly didn't see any injury. I didn't,
shoulder, we're just getting
shoulder,
told.
isn't it? That's no good.
Yep. So there we go. So no good at all. But, look, I think at the moment, DFAB is, no matter what's going on out there, it's going to be set up for someone like me to see Tipper come in with a 5-goal second half, do what he's done a couple of times this year already, or it could be Kerridge down the other end that all of a sudden just gets the shackles broken off and goes through and kicks one of his famous bags as well. I just think there's a few different stories set up here, Silko, for the second half.
Do you reckon the second quarter was the calm before the storm? Like the floodgates are about to open, something's about to happen?
So you know what? I'm hoping that the second quarter was the storm.
Yep, we can delete that from
because
our
I
minds.
can tell you what, there was not much smooth sailing going on in that quarter at all.
No, we got some intel that Charlie Lando hurt the shoulder early in the first term, and it looks like he won't play any further part in the game after half-time. So obviously Mildura down by one rotation, and he sort of cut a pretty full-on figure as he's walking just underneath us with Coach Mark Alvey only a couple of moments ago. Do have an update from from Robinvale, Euston and Wentworth. The Play HQ's just stopped in its tracks, but the footy club have posted about 5 minutes ago, half-time, the Eagles 48 and Wentworth 30. So a 3-goal lead for the Eagles at half-time, which is not a bad place to be, but Wenny certainly giving a fair account of themselves.
Yeah, and they're just absolutely decimated with injuries, Wenny, at the moment, and it's also their best players that they've been decimated with injuries. And the one thing about Wentworth is, they're not going to stop. They came back really hard a couple of weeks ago when we caught them against Dalrymple.
Yep.
So Robinvale will really not be comfortable at the moment going in only 3 goals up, because Wentworth aren't going to be an easy shake, and they're not going to let you just run away with the game.
So not far away from a resumption here at Kenny Park, as the Demons just going through their pre-start ritual down at the common ground end goal square, just running through some
What's your
drills.
thoughts, Silko? What do you see happening in the second half? Let's go and put our Nostradamus hats on and see...
Well, I tend to agree with you, Blakes. I feel like it has to open up. I can't believe that they can play this lockdown style of footy for another 2 quarters. It's not in their nature. I mean, certainly not in Merbein. And certainly the way they played at this ground in 2026, they've been freewheeling. They've been kicking multiple goals in succession. We haven't quite seen them get going just yet, but you get the feeling that I reckon they will catch fire at some stage. Yeah. It's a matter of where they sit in the game at the time. Are they still locked up on the scoreboard, or maybe a couple of goals adrift? That'll tell the story.
It's who blinks first. Which coach says, let's move something around here and let's try and go more attacking? But at the moment, they're just locking it down and holding firm.
Yeah. Guys, I think they will go attacking, guys, because they'll be forced to. These injuries might force, as you said, DFAB, and I think that's actually going to cause the game. And I'm with Paddy. I don't think Merbein can play like this. This is not their DNA. Go back to your original or your normal team lineup you'd normally have, and work from there.
And it's a physically draining game style when you're going out there with that really, tough in and under contest after contest style of play. And it's probably where they've got those outside runners, especially with Bedford Hills, Hooker, the likes of these players, Smith and also Stevens. I think they've got more outside runners that if the game can open up, they've probably got a little bit more pace on the outside than what Mildura do. But we just, the never say, what is it? The never say die demons you've come back with?
Never say die demons, yep. So, interesting observation. It looks like Nigel Lockyer is going to start on the ground inside the forward 50. Merbein attacking the swimming centre end of the ground. So still really hobbling terribly.
Look good, does he?
I'm not sure what the mindset is, but maybe he can just kick a couple of amazing snaps and just get them that little bit of ascendancy, and then maybe you pull him off and put him on ice. I don't know.
He looks like me after Kokoda, like I've been chafing for about a week the way he's walking at the moment. So
yeah, boys, I'm sorry. I would not risk it. I would not risk it. It's not worth it. Yes, you want to win this game. I totally understand that, but I'd actually send him for an X-ray to make sure there's no, there is no breaking in that shin, that sort of stuff, just out of precaution, because he's still limping. It looks atrocious to me, and he's going to have to run out of that square. The game's changed. The big fella playing on him is going to run and carry, and he's going to have to go after it, and he will, and it won't do him any good.
Okay, underway, second half on Hot FM, your Sunrise, your footy match of the day for Collie and Tierney, First National Real Estate. We're all locked up here at Kenny Park, Mildura and Merbein. The Pies looking to get the first takeaway of the second half. They get that through Mick Hooker, who goes to Jacob Donoghue, kicks up to right half forward. Out comes Bedford on a long lead. Just pulls up initially, which opens up a chance there for Mildura to get a possession. Ball at ground level now. Mick Harradine looks like he might have pushed ahead in this second half. Ball comes out wide there to Nowak. Then a quick kick from Brodie Jones around his body. Benny Dusha! Oh, my goodness, he was up there forever. Didn't hang on to it, but it didn't matter. Looked amazing.
Have a look at you. Get the phone out. You can't take a photo now. It's happened.
Absolutely. Just hung in perpetual motion. Ben wound back the clock, but we better get back to the action here as a hand pass to himself there from Angus Smith was interesting at best. It was almost a little throw to advantage. He's going to get the free kick, though, because the tackle lingered. But, my goodness, the number 6 in black and white.
He's not someone I would want on top of my shoulders as well. He'd send me about 3 feet into the ground.
Johnny, you had a good look at that. Jeez, he got high, didn't he?
Because he wasn't actually going to make the contest, so he actually made sure he just got up high.
Yes, old Snoop Dogg will call him, as high as a kite there. As we see the ball, Hooker, he's going in for his 4th possession already in the first 30 seconds of this quarter.
Yeah, big tick for having him in the ruck early in this quarter.
Yeah, he's absolutely in everything. So he goes with the nice kick towards centre half forward, but again, cut off by Leho. So Leho immediately plays onto the outer side of the ground, uses the runner in Jones. Jones with a short kick over the top. Finds, is that, who we got on the outer side there? DeRosa long down the line, pushed out of the contest with Kerridge. Page, nice and strong in the contest, gets a handball forward to Dusha. Dusha on the left foot, goes out wide, finds a player in Stevens, who was taken high by DeRosa. after the mark had been won, and he's lucky just to get away with a free kick there, to be honest.
Could have been a
Silko.
50, yeah. Umpire decided just to let it stay where it was. So out wide at half-back. It is Stevens now as he kicks short and measured nicely there towards Ashrow, centre wing, outer side. Plays on quickly up towards left half forward. Lockall got himself to a good spot. In fact, I reckon he flummoxed Hurley because he was going this way and that way, and Benny's going like, Jesus, Corey, what are you doing?
And Corey's not easy to get around, so all he had to do was get that right bum cheek and flick it to the side.
Yep,
and
that's right.
there's not much getting past there, was there?
Use the body right there.
This is a big kick, isn't it? They need to get one early, I reckon, in this second half. He's a pronounced goal kicker, but he's kicked it like a lump of coal, but it might favour Harradine. Oh, Big Mick. The brothers just waxing up the footy there.
Wow.
The value of playing in front, Ben Ridley, as a forward.
That's exactly right, and he's been playing it back, in the half-back line all day, and you spoke about it, DFAB, at half-time. Someone's going to throw around the magnets here. We see Harradine go forward, and it could be a masterstroke.
And two examples there of just protecting the drop zone. Both those marks, so you get the body in the right place and just don't let anyone get near where it's dropping. You got a chance.
Okay, so Harradine in the right forward pocket. He'll open up the goal face with his left boot. So he's going to kick from only probably 30 metres when he gets to the end of his run. Was a renowned goal kicker back in the day at Mildura, Mick, and played forward for Mildura Merbein when he first came. I'll tell you what, there couldn't be any more commentators' curses than what we've laid out here this afternoon on Hot FM. Can you believe it? He's missed to the near side.
Yeah, well, it wasn't his best kick there, but either way, it puts the Maggies in front here as Buchner goes long down the middle of the ground. He's looking for Phillips. The pack forms, and again, Dusha flying from the back, but it's falling into the hands of Gossman, who overruns it. This time collected by Hills. Hills gets it out to Bull. Bull with the hand pass to Rowe, intercepted. Gets his own recovery, runs into a wall of three players. It's ugly footy inside there as it spells to Smith. Smith to Dusha. Dusha inboard to Hills.
Next one.
Hills further inboard to Donahue. He tries to get the ball quickly out of hand, but it's cut off there by Costa. Costa goes to centre half forward. Misses the target in Kerridge. It's too hot. Lee Page trying to run back onto it. Could have been held by Kerridge. Umpire says no. Kerridge goes back, recovers onto his own ball, gets the ball out quickly to Price. He's got a couple to beat. Could have been caught holding the ball. And it has not him. Oh, push in the back there coming to Hooker. He's not happy with Liu, and right underneath our nose here, Hooker's going to probably take his fifth possession in the first couple of minutes of this third term.
Athleticism is really coming to the fore around the ground. He's played predominantly off half-back this season. He's kicked a bit of a shank down the line. It just pitches inside the grass of the white line there and goes out for a ball in. How do you figure?
I actually don't know what to say. I thought that we were going to get an improvement of the skill work here with a couple of legs getting a massage at half-time, but Leckel takes the ruck. Ball spills down to Nolan. Quick handball back to Costa. Hurried kick. Goes to centre half forward. In front was Kerridge. Probably nudged out of it, but either way it lands in the hands of Page. Kicks down the line. Could be beating everybody, and Price of Mildura is happy to see the ball over the boundary line, and from the exact same spot only 30 seconds ago will be another throw-in just underneath the commentator's box here at Merbein.
5-minute mark, third term, Pies by 1 point in your match of the day for Collie and Tierney First National Real Estate. This quarter is courtesy of Benny Rogers and the team at Pioneer Ford Robinvale. Hooker's turned over, another one with a bag kick. Lahu's got to go to work, though. He needs support. Comes out to Nolan. Hurley sweeps it out to Price, but they're working in a bloody cigarette packet there. Chance here for Hooker. Finds some separation to Donahue. He just throws it on the boot, kicks it up towards centre field, hacked off the ground. That's clever work from Nolan. Gives Jack Walker a chance to pick it up at ground level. Well done, big fella. Hand pass over the top to Zachy Mack. Donahue tracing it back, needs support. Comes inside to Dodds. He's taken high, I reckon, by big Zachy Phillips. It was David and Goliath there.
Yeah, it was.
In fact, it was Walker, but Dodds somehow dodges a bullet there as he kicks it out wide here to Ferraris. He kicks longer now towards centre wing, and Hills stretches and marks on his chest. He was off. He was dead set off. Matty Buick says, go back and take your kick, Noah. The captain just managed to fool the umpire that time. He wants to set up a hand pass. His kick is also not great. Goes up to Bedford. Couldn't quite bring it down. And as we go down to the sideline to Johnny Hollywood for hopefully some clarity thanks to Fatty Boomba. Johnny, what are you seeing?
I don't know what I'm seeing. I really don't. Look, this is This is nuts. It really is. Look, I'm not sure of some of the matchups. I'm not sure Frankel's the man for Sammy. The bit of leg speed there, difference. I'd put Justin deeper, that sort of stuff, but I'd certainly be making a change there.
As the ball goes deep inside the attacking 50, kick by Rowe. Harradine tries to run onto it. It beats absolutely everybody. Could have been taken without the ball, but it spills back to Hurley. Busts the contest, gives the worst kick possible. Trying to clear it out. It's intercepted by Stevens. Gives the handball in boy to Tippermoody McDonald. I can't even get the names right anymore. I don't know. McDonald, Tippermoody. But it just is a comedy of errors here at the moment, DFAB. We need to take a deep breath to try and figure out what the hell is going on at ground level.
Strings of possession where you can't really take a breath because the players have to make a split-second decision and there's someone hot on their heels. And it's just the pressure's gone up a bit.
Oh, it's been non-stop action, hasn't it, really, in the opening 7.5 minutes, but we've only had the 1 point added to the Kumiala Club scoreboard. They're getting no value for their buck today, yet, as we say, we've got our fingers crossed that it really will start to open up at some stage here in the second half.
If there's an auto wrecker in town, call us because we will sponsor these clangers going here at the moment as Phillips taps the ball down. Ball spills out to Brown. Brown's got a running player in McDonald. McDonald runs forward. Nice little kick to half forward, finds Kerridge. Immediately plays on. He's looking for a leading target. It's Brown, who's got some gut running going inside, running back towards goal. And takes a nice mark. He's going to be kicking from probably 40 metres out, just in front of the Kumiala Club scoreboard here. I reckon, maybe 5 metres in from the boundary line on the right-hand side?
Yeah, only just. It'll take his best, I reckon, from here, because he'll end up kicking from about 45 as he just steadies, pulls the socks up, will he? Or maybe just remove the mouth guard and just get himself settled here. This is a pretty decent moment in the game, I reckon. Mildura get a goal here. Maybe they get the momentum rolling back their way as Brown gets close to the man on the mark, pushes it wide to the left. Reynolds in from the side. Ball hits to the front and centre of the pack. Ball's up for grabs. Noah Hills is in the vicinity. Down to ground level goes Kerridge. Some pretty heavy contact coming in there fairly. And we'll get a ball up inside that Mildura attacking 50, only around about 15 metres out from the goal.
No space to work for any player as the ruck contest goes high. There's an infringement over the shoulder and it's going to be to the advantage of Nate Bull of Merbein. So left back pocket, he goes across the face of goal, finds Smith. He can use a teammate in Stevens further up the field. He does. Stevens clears. He gets a kick smothered off the boot. He has to go back and try and clean up his own mess. Could have been tackled on hands and knees. Goes further back again to Smith. Smith on his favoured left side goes long down the line. Contest between Lehu and also looked like that was going to be Bedford, but Tipper gets the ball forward to Rowe. Rowe immediately tackled. It looks like it's going to be a throw as he just tried to batten the ball there. It's Wimbledon at the moment. Looked like a tennis racket on the end of his hand.
It's almost the old Nick Kyrgios Under Armour there from the service line as Mildura trying to make something of this on the outer side. I reckon it was Seward. He lets fly, kicks up there to Reynolds. It just opened up in front of him. In fact, Kerridge was front and centre. He plays on quickly, Lukey, sets her up off the boot. It's drifting wide though, as Max Keel may have been able to take the clunk going back with the flight of the footy. But it results only in a behind, which squares things up again on the Kumi Club scoreboard. 4-6-30 Merbein, 3-12-30 Mildura. Ben Ridley.
Yeah, well, we're seeing it all here at the moment, except for a nice kick that hits the target. As we see the ball cleared out of defence, looking further for Hemming. Hemming's got a couple to beat. Ball spills back to Seward. Tries to play on. No, that's Nowak, but the ball again smothered off the boot. It's going to be a push in the back here. I think the umpires are just looking for a free kick to try and clear the congestion here. It's going to be, looks like it's Will Hemming. So Will Hemming.
Just an update there, boys. My apologies. It wasn't Frankel on Sam Kerridge. It's obviously Pagey.
Yep.
Okay, as Lockel marks the short one down the line, plays on quickly to Hooker. Hand pass in really tight confines to Dodds. Did well to release Hemming though, and they're up and running the Pies up towards half forward on the right-hand side here as it is big Zachy Phillips standing like a colossus there. Just clearing the decks for Mildura. And there was never going to be any chance there for Hemming coming in from behind. He was giving away about a foot and a half.
It was like he decided to kick to the biggest target on the ground that was for the opposition and just pick him out. So
seeing like a chain of possessions that's looking promising, something's developing, and then
we're getting excited, weren't we? We thought something was going to happen. So Seward goes across the ground, finds a teammate in Buchner. Buchner with a short kick. They're looking a little bit more measured here as they try to set up. But again, that kick smothered off the boot. Lehu tries to come and divert his way through traffic. Handball out wide, didn't really hit the target, made it tough for Buchner. So Buchner just has to kick it long down the line. Could have been a push out of the contest to the leading forward in Kerridge. And at right half forward, it will be a free kick to the coach. It was a clear push in the back there by Page.
Yeah, he's a long way away from home, though. Be about 70, 80 metres out on that outer side as he kicks inside forward 50, looking for Reynolds, who was too clever. Just sat back as the ball cleared that initial contest ball. Just overcooked himself a little bit, didn't he? And Reynolds just stayed and held his posse, takes the mark, and he's looking pretty confident about this one. He's going back for the set shot. The left footer in the right forward pocket. Yep. He's got a chance to open up the goal face. And so far today has just the one sausage roll. Can he add to his tally here? Yeah,
he's looking likely as he comes right in close to the man on the mark. It's looking good off the boot. It probably could go across the face of goal, and it looks like it has pushed through, but probably a little bit concerning there. Maybe that match up here with Bull and Reynolds, that could be the exposure that they need up forward, the Ds.
Well, it was all one-on-one contest as Kerridge looked forward, and I wonder if that's maybe something that the two of them have practiced. Two smart footballers, Reynolds, Kerridge, just to drag a defender one way and then mark it the other way.
Dangerous kick in is intercepted by Reynolds again on that outer side right forward pocket. There's just no free real estate to be had. It's such a lockdown from both defences. It's so hard to get the footy from one end of the ground to the other. Rogerson is absolutely free inside the forward 50. Reynolds is just backing himself in here. He says, I'm going to fix up what I didn't get right the last time.
Bit harsh. I mean, we know that Roger's two first kicks in the second quarter weren't great, but as you learn his lesson here, he's kicking from the exact same spot. This time gives it a little bit more penetration. It looks good off the boot, but again, the exact same position across the face.
We're on a loop. That's the third time we've seen it go across the face this quarter.
Yes. And again, there's no breeze coming through either way, and it's just accuracy.
All right, so the Maggies looking to come back off the last line. Bendusha trying to find an option here. Nothing really presenting, so he might just have to go long down the ground. I reckon that's what he's going to do. No, he's going to hold it up and find an option now. And mark to be taken by Phoenix Hemming in front of where the old Merbein South Cricket Club rooms used to sit. As he plays up towards centre wing. They've favoured this broadcast side a fair bit. Mick Harradine got to front and centre, tried to claim the mark, pushes his way out of danger, but he only gets the hand pass up towards Nathan Nolan, who kicks up to Kerridge at left forward pocket, shows his strength, gets it to Jackie Walker, swinging left foot from Jack to the goal square. Out the back is Reynolds.
Oh, I think it's going to be a free kick against Maxi Keel here, is it?
Yeah,
well, it could have been the downfield from the bump as he...
No. So
it was a mark in any case. It didn't really matter, did it?
No, that's right. So Lukey Reynolds this time can't miss, surely. He's going to be kicking 10 metres out directly in front. They've kicked 3-14 here today, the Ds, and that is absolutely no mistake by the big South Australian. That takes them to 4 goals, 14, which is hard to comprehend just in itself. 38 as they're leading the home side. Merbein Magpies. What do we got? We're just waiting for that refresh. 4-6-30 on the Kumiella Club scoreboard. So much needed goal there. It was the third attempt here in this third quarter by Reynolds, probably in the space of only about 3 minutes as well there, DFAB. But you certainly was never going to make any mistake with that one.
I think Mildura can take a collective breath, having not scored since the first quarter. 14 and a half minutes into the third quarter, they've finally broken that drought. So I think they'll take a breath and just appreciate that moment.
Yeah. No real go-ahead from the John James Oval. We've still got that half-time score of Robinvale Euston 48, Wentworth 30. It's 38-30 here at Kenny Park. So a couple of low scorers around the region today. It's the two games to round out split round 9 this afternoon as we get started once again in the middle here. Up goes Frankel, one down there by Phillips. Here's Jones. He's got himself into that midfield rotation now, but he's held up by the Pies. And we'll get another ball up pretty much from exactly where we were only seconds ago. Frankel trying to do the body work, but Phillips has got the height advantage. Goes to Jones. Ball's held in.
Excuse me there, boys.
Yes, Johnny.
Love this forward set up. Tippett's gone to centre forward. I really like that. That's big Corey, like he'll stop being centre forward, or Mick Harradine, or even Nigel, who's got an injury. So now they put Tipper at centre forward. I like that. He's got his man. That's it.
Yeah, he's just dangerous in these situations, and he's got a lot of space around him at the moment. So there's an intentional space around him to be able to just let him run onto it. And either way, he's going to use the ball going well inside 50 and hit a target, or he's going to do something special. As we see the contest going forward from Brown, ball spills down, running onto it is Gossman. He doesn't take the ball cleanly, immediately wrapped up there, tried to duck his head through, but Nate Bull, very diligent in the tackle there, didn't give anything away. It was a really easy opportunity for him to be able to take a high tackle, but Did it well as we see the umpire throw it up again. Frankel and Phillips go for it. Ball spills down to Dusha, immediately tackled by Walker. Well, just not an inch being given either way here, is there?
We've spoken a bit about positional changes that can mix things up, and just the ability to move Brown on ball, in the third quarter to just get a clearance like that, that's valuable to have.
There's a chance now for Mildura. Bodies clattering everywhere inside that Demons forward 50. It's not going too far, though. So we're getting at the stalemate and shoe at the 16 and 3/4 minute mark. He's 4:14:38, leading Merbein 4:6:30 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. Third quarter, courtesy of our great friends at Pioneer Ford Robinvale. Right contest again, front and centre. Reynolds trying to use his body. In comes Fordham. There's Ball in one way, out the other. Chance again for Buller. Tries to get his hand pass inboard, looking for support. Ball's held up. Oh, my goodness, this is an arm wrestle, isn't it?
It is just every time someone gets the footy, there's three players around them every single time. So 30 metres out in front of Mildura's goal. Big punch comes from Frankel. Ball spills down as far as Murphy. Plugger Murphy tries to give it to his coach in Kerridge. But as we've just called, every time someone gets the ball, there's three defenders immediately tackling, and no different that time to Kerridge. Top of the 50, there'll be another reload.
Just to you, DFAB, not sure if you've been watching the matchup for Scotty Bedford, but whoever's got that job for Mildura has really done a pretty decent effort. He's hardly been sighted, really, in the last quarter and a half. I might get you just to keep an eye on that. As here's McDonald, Tipperwoody, moving up from his centre-half forward position. What a hand pass to that man in question, Bedford. Kick smothered, though, on the run. McDonald, Tipperwoody goes again, gets it to Trooper Bedford. His kick floats off the side, but it works for Phoenix Hemming. He comes through the middle of Kenny Park. He stops on the spot. He's got nothing. Steps around Fordham beautifully. Goes to Donahue. Running the lines, Merbein. The kick around the body. Big Mick. Comes in for the side, but it's Hooker, who was unsighted by me, and potentially the Mildura defence. They were all going eyes up on Lockall, but it was Nigel Lockyer who presented and takes a very, very tough contested mark. And he goes back and takes an attempt here on goal from around about 40 metres out. This would be a good test for the body.
Well, as I was going to say, let's see how this ankle holds up as he goes 40 metres out directly in front. The umpire does not move. Neither does Lockyer. As his teammates get around him, he's certainly ginger after that kick. It's giving him some grief, but either way, it gets him back within striking distance. Only 2 points the difference here deep into the third quarter at Kenny Park. And that's exactly what they're just hoping for with Lockyer, is just to get a one-out contest and hopefully not too much pressure on him to be able to kick a goal directly in front each time.
That's one goal each quarter, so he's been pretty reliable even as he's now hampered. And that's probably going to be his role. I don't think he's ventured too far from the goal square, really, all this quarter. But if he can pop up and just get a goal every now and then, that's going to be handy.
Back underway at Kenny Park with Ashrow looking to try and hold possession up through the midfield. Rogerson, though, picks it up and kicks it to centre-half forward for Mildura. Nutmegs Walker. Chance for the Pies to rebound off half-back. It comes back to Ashrow. Now chance for Stevens. He's got his brother, the long-sleeved brother in Angus Smith. He wants his left, though, as he has to come inside out. Goes towards right half forward for Lockall. Front and centre, the big man. Did he get first hands on it? Umpire says yes. Squares it up to Bedford. And all of a sudden, Merbein are folding their mojo riddles, aren't they?
Yeah, and as you said, Lockall there, once he gets front position, you're not going to be able to move him without a tip truck beside you. And Bedford, he's going to back himself here. He's going to be kicking from the corner of the square nearly, right on 55 metres. So it's going to take his absolute best as the pack forms at the top of the goal line.
He's going to run around.
He's going to run around. You can see it as he goes, gives himself a little bit of latitude, a little bit of width. Pushes it just to the right-hand side as a big pack forms. Could have been a mark deep on that attacking line. But it's a point, so Buchner immediately plays on, but it's cut off. He hasn't measured his kick at all, looking for Elijah Brown. And it's been cut off by Kyle Stevens. Sorry, that's Angus Smith, the white boots. So Angus Smith, one of their best kicks in the team. 30 metres out directly in front. That's a crucial intercept. And you can't get probably a better kick with the ball in his hands at the moment, DFAB.
Go easy on the kid.
I know.
Don't put too much pressure on him, Riddles.
Well, he's nailed this before we've even spoken about it, hasn't he?
Here he is. Angus Smith goes at it towards the swimming pool end of the ground and hits the post halfway up on the left-hand side. I told you to shut your mouth, Ben. You didn't learn, and it's a minor score, the result. But went squared again on the Kumi Club scoreboard. 5-8-38 Merbein, 4-14-38 for Mildura. I'm going to go down to Johnny Hollywood shortly, as again they almost turn it over inside the defensive 50, Mildura. Here's a chance. It comes out towards Pettit. Goes long and strong off his right boot. Big Corey's doubling back. He holds his feet. He needs a good bounce here. In goes Brodie Jones. Corey might have got on his hammer and tack. Umpire says no, and Seward rushes it through for a minor score. But Johnny, down to you for Fatty Boomba. I reckon the Pies just absorbed absolutely everything Mildura threw at them for nearly 15 minutes, and now they're coming out good at the other side.
And the reason they are coming out good, because some of those changes, they had Tipper Woody play centre forward. He got that touch of the goal before on centre wing. That saved Big Corey from running down 150 metres. You're keeping him closer to goal. He can work hard for 3 or 4 minutes, breathe for 3 or 4 minutes. So sometimes just making little changes, putting the big fellas back, giving them time to rest is really important.
Yeah, bang on, mate. Absolutely nailed it right on the head there, I reckon. 21 3/4 minute mark of this third term. Pies by 1 point in your match of the day for Sunraysia Footy and Collie and Tierney First National Real Estate. Free kick to advantage out of the ruck from Rogerson, goes to Reynolds. Marks on the left-hand point of the square. His left boot around the corner. Carriage one out. You'd back him here. I reckon he's pulled Page out of it. Umpire says play on. In goes Pinion for support. Here's Carriage. Swing out, Sammy! Oh, what a goal that is! That is absolutely sensational from the superstar Sam Carriage at the 22-minute mark of the third term. When the big question was asked of him, he delivers and then some.
He was grabbed, he was scragged, he was pushed, he was pulled, and he still was able to keep his feet. And then just diving back there was Ronaldo style over the shoulder, and it was a fantastic finish. And again, a much-needed goal there, DFAB, by the Ds, just to be able to settle the momentum that Merbein has had for the last 5 minutes here.
Well, he certainly turned the page on that one, didn't he? He's just really given us 2 goals in a short amount of time, which was a feeling we haven't had in quite a while this afternoon. So I'm grateful for that.
You get the feeling that the key players are really starting to stand up in this game, Ben, and they're going to be hugely influential in the run home. With the last quarter only moments away as Hooker beaten to it by Phillips in the ruck. Rogerson getting on top in the stoppages, kicks it up to Carriage again. Probably could have marked that, but decided to let it bounce. Merbein have got numbers to run through defence here with Ben Dusha. Has to get rid of it quickly, was pushed off late after the kick. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Ball at ground level there with Nick Price, and he's escorted over the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in. What are we, nearly 24-minute mark of this, the third term. We've had 1 goal from Merbein, 2 from Mildura, so not much time to play, I wouldn't think.
No, you wouldn't think there's too much time on as the ball's taken out of the contest. Looked like by Walker. Walker, quick handball forward to Nolan. Got to navigate his way through traffic. Does it well to Jones. Jones kicks to the hot spot, leading out and taking the mark in front is Reynolds. Perfect disposal there for a full forward to be able to run onto. And Reynolds is going to be kicking right on 50 directly in front. But it was all set up there by Nolan, who cut his way through perfectly in that contest. And Jones just had the presence of mind to be able to kick to space and let his big forward run onto it.
So Lukey Reynolds pretty much directly in front, kicking towards the Merbein common end of the ground, right on the chalk at 50. Sets it up off the left boot. It looks okay, but it's just sides away to the right-hand side. Minor score, another behind for Mildura. 5-15-45, Merbein 5-9-39. And we've ticked over 24 minutes in this third term. Johnny, down to you again for Fatty Boomba. I feel like Mildura have got Reynolds playing a little deeper now in this second half, and it's certainly working out a bit better for them.
Yeah, look, he is playing very deep. He's a good player, isn't he?
No, that's out of bounds on the full from the kick out there by Hooker. And it's going to be another reload here. It's going to be Jack Walker who's going to look to kick it back inside 50. And he does exactly that again. Kicks to the hot spot. There's a big pack forming and taking the mark. In the middle of the whole pack was the young Max Keel. Stood his ground while everyone else around him just pushed straight through the contest. And he just stood tall and takes a vital mark here as we tick right on 25 minutes gone here in the third term. And he's going to be kicking 25 metres out directly in front, looking to extend this lead here from Mildura to 2 goals if he can make it work as he comes in. It looks good off the boot. He's happy off the boot. And those bright yellow boots deliver for the Ds here, and that is now 2 goals straight that the Ds have hit the front by DFAB, and at a crucial time coming into the third term, at the end of the third term, Silko.
Do you think they're asking too much of Hooker being the number one ruck, also taking the kick-ins? It's a lot of ground that he's been covering, and it looks good when it works, and he's certainly a good player, but it is asking a lot to continue to front up all around the ground.
Yeah.
Spot on, DFAB.
Stretching their resources out a little bit thinly, aren't they? But to give the kid credit, he really is having a go, and he wins this ruck contest to his own advantage. Gets a hand pass out to Donahue. Take that, Michael Di Fabrizio, he says. Ball goes out towards the outer side with Lehu. He's got options in Walker, but overcooks the hand pass. But Donahue couldn't take advantage as it goes again over the line on the Merbein Bowling Club side of Kenny Park, which at the moment is bathed in reasonable sunshine. It's been a 4 seasons in one day sort of afternoon, Ben Ridley.
It has, as we see on this scoreboard, 6:15:51, and it looks... That's the three-quarter time siren here at Kenny Park. Mildura 6:15:51 with a late goal there. Extend their lead over Merbein late. 5:9:39 on the Cumuella Club scoreboard. And Silco, that was a much-needed goal there by Maxi Keel late in that third term.
Certainly was, Riddles. It is game on here. 1 quarter to play. Who is going to take the bragging rights out of this one? Moving ahead in towards the final series, which is not too far away. We're going to head off for a couple of sponsor messages, then we'll come back for our 3-quarter. Welcome back to Kenny Park on your community radio, Hot FM. We are set for a grandstand finish here to our match of the day. It's the top of the table clash between the Mildura Demons and the Merbein Magpies. Our scoreline 3-quarter time. Mildura 6:15:51, 12 points clear of Merbein 5:9:39. The Demons added 3 goals for in that term to the Maggies 1 goal for. And leading goal scorers for the visitors, 2 for Luke Reynolds, 2 for Sam Kerridge, and singles for Elijah Brown and Maxi Keel. Meanwhile, for Merbein, Nigel Lockyer with 3. We said we thought 2 at half-time, and he was not going to add to his tally. Well, he got 1 more, but we're not sure that he'll get any to go with that. We'll have to wait and see. So 3 for Lockyer, 1 for Noah Hills, and 1 for Anthony McDonald at Tipperwoody. What a game of footy it's been. Hard to put into words, but it's been a contest. That's all I'll say. Pat Silcox, Ben Ridley, Michael Di Fabrizio and John Hollywood. Boys, this is something out of the box, isn't it, really? I mean, come on.
Well, as you said, it's been hard to describe, but probably scrappy is the right word we'll go with. Scrappy for most of the game, but until probably that last 10 minutes where the game DFAB started to open up a little bit more. 3 shots on goal there from Reynolds where the ball started to come in a little bit easier for him. Got himself in nice positions, but he didn't capitalise, and that's probably the story of the day. All 3 shots went across the face of goal, didn't add anything to the majors list, and then that last crucial goal late in that quarter by Reynolds, which was absolutely needed. So it's a two-goal buffer here at the moment. It's just wasted opportunities that Mildura's seen. Down the other end, it's been really hard work for Merbein to be able to make something happen. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens in this last term.
Yep, no, Mildura had the yips really for a lot of that quarter, and I think once they finally got one through, that eased a bit of the pressure, and a couple of late ones gives them that 2-goal lead, which is what they went into quarter time with. And it's if we had a repeat of the second quarter, we'll be all tied at the end of the day. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, and whether have Merbein run out of options in terms of the moves they're making, or do they have something else? We'll wait and see. But yeah, like you said, Lockyer looks like he gave whatever he had left into that last kick for goal, which he nailed, but I'm not sure how much he can get through the legs at the moment.
Incredibly, he's lining up at full forward at the moment, so whatever. I don't think we've got any calls right today, to be honest.
No,
okay, we've muzzled everybody. Yeah. Everything we said was going to happen has been the opposite. But I'll tell you one thing. You called it really well. It looked like that Merbein were the ones who were going to get the arm wrestle and open it up.
Yep.
And then just all of a sudden, just a couple of late goals there to Maxi Keel and Reynolds changed it to the other end of the ground. The momentum went with the D's.
That it did. Let's go down to Johnny now for Fatty Boomba. 3-quarter time. He was at the Demons huddle. What did Owls and the crew have to say?
Look, I was, boys, and I almost didn't want to go across, to be honest with you. But the reason being, and that's probably the biggest compliment I can give Owls, I knew what I was going to get. Exactly the same thing I've heard this year, every time I've ever gone out to their huddle. He's telling them all the things over and over again. There might be a little bit of monotony, but I tell you what, the players are so well drilled, and as soon as they get away from any of the basics like, game plan, your role, effort, all that sort of stuff, he gets them back on track and says, right, let's do all these things, which we are doing to some degree, but how about some of us finish off some of our kicking, was one of the mentioned comments, and a couple of players laughed. So it was quite good.
So it's not just us just making it up. It's the coaches can see it too, which is nice. Silco?
All right, umpire Matthew Buick holds the Sheridan aloft. We're good to go in the final term. The match of the day for Collie and Tierney First National Real Estate. Justin Frankel will start in against Zach Phillips, who knocks it towards Rogerson emphatically. Out goes to Rosa, centre wing on the outer side. Quick kick up towards Keel. Oh, he played it up again, the young man, and he will get the free kick. There was a little bit of contact going on there, but really, I would have thought it's just play on that one. But anyway.
Yeah, no, Ferraris really didn't do too much wrong there, but as you said, Keel played it up. He immediately plays on around the man on the mark, goes to the hot spot. He's looking for a Kerridge who slipped at the worst moment possible, and it just lands safely in the hands of Dusha.
So Dusha, sorry to cut you off, Riddles, is going to kick across towards that social room side. They're still inside D50. Next one on the chain is Pinion. Had a look, probably needed to go for the footy, then held on to the man, nothing doing. Quick kick towards centre half back will work here for Angus Smith. So the young man, the left footer, seizes the opportunity. Kick is okay. Yes.
He's a beautiful
measured.
kick, isn't
he? He is a great kick of the foot. He finds Ashley Rowe, who looks to play onto advantage, but
man that needs to get in the game for me, boys. Merbein to win this game, he's got to dominate this quarter.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet, I reckon, today, and he is the man, as you said, John. Kick, looking for Lockley, just stopped in his tracks there, didn't really compete, but comes back a second time around. Hand pass from Mildura gets front and centre to Nolan. Now chance out the back, quick kick off the boot of Tyler Costa. Coming in from the side there with the spoil was Cooper Dodds. Still alive just on the outer side. Dodds goes back for a second bite of the cherry. He's holding the ball.
Oh, wow. That was... that was quite incredible, wasn't it? Because Dodds went back with bravery across the contest there. Really didn't have a chance to be able to deliver at all.
Quick update around the grounds thanks to Sammy Smythe and Fatty Boombar. This time it's the Eagles 11-7. 2 goals straight clear of Wentworth 9-7, and that's at three-quarter time.
Just in terms of the Bedford matchup, Tyler Costa's the one wearing him like a glove at the moment and doing a very good job.
Well, Silko hit the nail on the head earlier in the day. He's just dour, diligent. You know, he's not. You know what you're going to get from him, and he's disciplined. So, as you said, he's had a great game on Bedford, and that's the type of player that's going to break the game apart, and Merbein certainly need him to be able to step up in this last term.
Ball back into play, one down front and centre by Frankel. Nice shark from Nolan, though. Gets it towards DeRosa, who kicks down the line centre wing. Sits up for Keel. Kicks around his body, high up and under. Tough one to get underneath. 2 Merbein boys go in against each other there, which opens up a chance for the D's.
Oh, well
then an
done.
intercept to Elijah Brown. He runs at pace, kicks down the line to centre half forward. Finds his coach, Sam Kerridge, on the other end.
Well, he just went into that contest and virtually did a pirouette, parked his bum in there, did a 360, got out of that contest without even being touched, and then laces out, hits up Kerridge. I mean, we've seen blokes miss the mark, miss the kicks further up the ground with absolutely no pressure. He's done that with vertigo.
Yeah, well, Brown got the lucky bounce. I think it was a 2-on-1, but both of his opponents overcommitted to being at the front, and it just sort of sat up, and he was like, yeah, I'll have that.
Very classy.
Knew exactly what to do.
So this could be tough for the home side. If Kerridge can seal this one from right on the 50, it'll take him out to 3 goals. The better here is his kick is going to shadow across the near side. It was almost kept alive there by Reynolds. He thought it was still going. Merbein had conceded it wasn't behind. The goal umpire agrees with them. So they maybe dodge a bit of a bullet there as it comes back into the play here with Benny Dusha. He's kicked down the line here to halfback on the broadcast side finds Will Hemming. Hemming needs to make good with this kick. He looked to try and stand up his opponent. He slips over and he's claimed by Brodie Jones.
He just tried to give that candy and he didn't need to. And it looked like he was actually going to get around him, but slipped at the worst time possible. So Jones goes short with a leading target in Reynolds. Hits him on the chest. It's on the right side here for a left footer. He's going to be kicking tight on the boundary, hugging 50, but on the right hand pocket. Ideal for a left footer to make something happen. He had 2 shots here from the other end where they went across the face of goal. Could this be the one that he's finally got his accuracy right with?
Be getting some good advice from the members of the crowd that are right next to him as he lines up the kick. He starts it a little bit narrow. It's holding its line, but another minor score the result for the Demons. So they go to 6-17-53 on the Kumiella Club scoreboard. Merbein 5-9-39. We played 4.5 minutes of this gripping final quarter here. It's your Hot FM Sunrise here footy. Match of the day for Colin Tierney, First National Real Estate.
Dusha clearing kick to the outer side, looking for a marking option, and it's Rowe. He runs onto it nicely, immediately held up. He's got players inboard if he wants, but he's looking further downfield rather than sideways. No, he does. He goes with a big kick, switching the play to the commentary side to Bull. Bull's got another player who releases, and that's going to be Stevens. So Stevens at right half back with a nice measured kick, looking for Hooker. Hooker has the ball punched from behind. by Tyler Costa, and we've spoken his praises a couple of times today, DFAB, and made a real good fist of it literally there over the boundary line.
Yeah, if the danger players are lurking, he's the one lurking behind him.
He's having an afternoon, isn't he, Tyler Costa, as we get the reload right beneath us here in the Hot FM commentary box. Bedford, quick hand pass up to Stevens. Kicks on the run. It's high. It's a tumbler. Lockel in front. The big guy stretches the Jukes. Falls out the back, though. Ashrow might be in the van. Here's Hemming. He's got a clean pair of heels. He kicks around his body to the hot spot. Lockyer caught out behind. Tries to get his hands on the man in front of him, who is Buchner. And Zach kicks it long towards centre field. It's a one-on-one here. As we see a chance for Pinion. He lays a great tackle, not rewarded. It's going to go to Walker. Gee, I reckon there should have been a call made there. Reynolds caught out behind his opponent. Could have been hanging on as well, but now it comes towards Dodds, who manages his way out of danger to find Scotty Bedford. They continue on this passage with Hemming, who gets a worm burner up towards Rowe. Loses the feet. In goes Gussie Smith. Tries to pick it up again. Costa is there like a dirty pair of socks. Won't leave them alone. And I'll tell you what, he's almost going to pick up some votes, I reckon, the way he's going.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He won't get votes for his hairdo. It's looking a very bit average at the moment. As we see right underneath our nose, umpire Brewell throws it up. Getting first touch to it was Phillips, down to Rogerson, who's had it all day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really tough call there. Goes against Angus Smith for too high, but either way, it's going to be right under our nose again. Going forward with a long kick to the top of the 50 was Rogerson. Pack forms, and coming in from the side was Keel. The ball spills down as far as Nolan. He nearly trips himself over. Goes to Dusha with a hurried left foot kick, looking for Trooper Bedford, who does a great job there in getting front position. Elects to use his brother straight away, who runs himself into trouble, so tries to go inboard now to Stevens, but the kick's too hot. Rogerson, who's everywhere, he's the one who mops it up, goes with a nice short kick to Nolan. Nolan, handball too hot for McDonald. Cut off by Donahue. Donahue's got a few to beat. He does in time to Trooper Bedford with a hurried kick looking for Lockyer. Lockyer's one out against Buchner, but Buchner's also got a couple of teammates there, and one of those is Lee, who gets the ball, kicks across the face of goal to try and open it up on the fat side. He finds Seward. Seward settles with a nice kick out wide on centre wing to McDonald.
And they're out in the open now with Zach Mack. Kicks down the line to Kerridge. Presents there at left half forward. Went to ground. Good effort from Page. Certainly handled him pretty fairly there as it tries to come back inboard to Pinion, who puts his body on the line, but it's stolen by Walker, who gets it back to Kerridge, gets on his arc, he swings around, he kicks up to Keel, the young man. He's too hard to stop out on the lead. He's got such great speed out of the blocks. He gets that good 5 or 10 metre burst on his opponent, and when he's got that separation, he just clunks them every single time.
He's got a bit of Paul Medhurst about him. He's got that size where all of a sudden he just times his jump to perfection.
Yep.
And he takes the mark really strongly out in front with arms extended, always straight arms, and he looks very, very comfortable inside that forward 50.
Just needs an anchor on his jersey.
He does.
Keel lines it up from the social room's pocket there. Umpire's not moving too much. Umpire doesn't move at all. He's going to say, that is a goal. Max Keel's second. And Mildura now go to 7-17 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard, kicking clear here in the final term, just methodically working their way through the back end of this game. And that, of course, comes down to the masterclass of coaching from Mark Alvey. It's a 20-point split now at the 8 3/4 minute mark. 7-17-59 the D's. Merbein 5-9-39 DFAB on the Kumiala Club scoreboard.
Yeah, another quick turn from Kerridge as well to set it up and to make the right decision, and weighted it perfectly. He's usually got his fingerprints over the third and fourth quarters of the Mildura games this season when they need something.
No, he does. He's never been accused of being too fast, Kerridge, but he finds a way to be able to get separation from his direct opponent, as we see Harradine take his turn in the ruck, but absolutely beaten too easily there by Phillips down to DeRosa. DeRosa with a hurried kick to the previous goal kicker, taking another mark. At the top of the 50 is Keel. He immediately plays on. The kick's too hot, but it spills over the back to Elijah Brown, who snaps around his shoulder. And from 25 metres out, he's just missed to the right-hand side. But, wow, it's looking ominous here for the D's to be able to split it open a little bit further. And you start to get the feeling here, Silko, that it's just getting away a little bit here from the Magpies.
Yeah, just worried about that matchup on Keel. I'm not going to give any disrespect to the young fella Jack Ferraris, but I reckon you've got to put someone a little bit better to him, because he really is proving to be the shining light across half forward at the moment. As Hemming just goes up the line, and he looks to have found, is it Bedford there, just inside defensive 50, out of sight of Kenny Park. It's now or never really for Merbein if they're going to get some momentum rolling. The kick is going to be okay. It's marked there centre field. And a nice clunk out there by Riley Pinion as he continues to get the conveyance out towards centre wing. Still out of side. Mark taken... Is it Hooker out there? Long way away from us. He's just trying to wait for it to unfold. Man's moved off the mark, I reckon, before the umpire allowed him to do so. But kick from Hooker finds Lockle, who loads one up across the ground to find the number 27.
Out of the yard there, wasn't he?
Phoenix Hemming kicks it up here, looking for Trooper Bedford at left half forward, almost forward pocket. And it's not clear to safety there by Tarrant Lahoo, who's played more of a defensive role. He's had that assignment today, Ben Ridley, and I reckon he's handled it beautifully. Yeah, well, he started in the forward line, which took us by surprise, but he's found himself back at half-back where he's most comfortable. And at left half forward, attacking end here for the Pies, desperate to be able to get another goal as the ball spills down to Hemming. He's nearly overran it, but he's got a teammate here in Ferraris who tries to, Dodds. Dodds gives the don't argue, goes back to Hemming. Hemming just has to be able to get the ball to boot, so goes high, long to half forward, nudged out of the contest, perfectly used the body, gets the ball to Bedford. Bedford back to Harradine. Harradine's going to look to go inside to a leading Tipper. He doesn't hit that target, so it's a running race on the outer side. Seward beats Tipper, but Tipper's right there on him, making him work for it. Seward's up to it, though, as he gets a handball back to a teammate who's there to help him. Gossman, who's chased down, and it's just that last little touch there by Tipper that allows the ball to go to the top of the square, creates a contest, and hits the outer boundary post, so it's going to be a boundary throw-in. But again, attacking end here for the Maggies, and they're desperate to get one here to be able to keep pace, Silko. Yeah, they certainly are. We get the reload, right forward pocket. In goes Lockle at the ruck contest, try to knock it back towards Pettit. Ball didn't quite sit up for him on the first attempt. Demons get the hands quickly out towards Dylan Murphy. Tumbles one out towards almost centre wing on the outer side. Ball is in dispute. I reckon the Mildura boy thought he might have marked that one there. Umpire says nothing. That was Jackie Walker. And we'll get a quick reload back into the field of play once again. But Merbein pressing hard here, but needs to really hit the scoreboard at the 12-minute mark of the final term. Mildura seem to have the answers at the moment, DFAB.
They have a tackle on Scott Bedford. Whenever he collects the ball, there's someone that's just tackling him straight away.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And as we said, Costa's played that perfectly. So the umpire reloads it from the boundary. Harradine this time gets a really nice position, gets it down to that man Bedford. He just a hurried kick to Donohue. Donohue tries to use the runner and Pettit. Pettit swings around, goes inboard with a handball, but it's been cut off by a couple of Ds as they raffle it off. It's a nice kick out of defence. Further up again, Keel getting really busy in this last term. He's up the field a bit, still in the defensive half, but he's in the corridor, so he elects to go long down the line as the ball beats everybody, spills over the back to Walker. Walker juggles what he probably should have taken, but he goes back, recovers, kicks over the shoulder with his left foot. Running back is Zachy Mack. And just inside the attacking 50, Zach McDonald takes a mark, but it's going to be probably a little bit too far out. Do you reckon, Silko, for him?
Oh, he'll have a go, I reckon. But Johnny, down to you for Fatty Boombar. He's a bit unheralded, underestimated Jack Walker, but for a big bloke, he's got great hands and great awareness, hasn't he?
Yeah, moves all right, doesn't he? And he's tough enough, that's more the point. And by the way, he leads hard, so he always creates space behind him.
All right, so McDonald hemmed in that left forward pocket, kicks from just inside 50, sets it up to the square. The pack flies. Kerridge tried to get to front and centre. Lee Page will rush it through for a minor score. So Mildura will advance along to, I'm thinking, 7-19-61, 5-9-39 for Merbein. Riddles, 13.5 gone final quarter. Pies under pressure again.
So Hemming just gives the handball over the top, but really no advantage there. Asked a lot of Bedford. Luckily for the Magpies, Bedford was taken without the ball. So in the left back pocket, he elects to go back towards goal. He finds Dusha. Dusha, really nothing happening either side at the moment, so he's scanning his options, goes short to Rowe. It's a dodgy kick, it's a harsh kick, but Rowe's onto it as it was punched out by Costa. Looping handball out to Hemming, who fumbled it at the most crucial of moments. He tries to go back and help his teammate there in Stevens. Stevens with a handball over the head, goes inboard to Bedford. Bedford's got Rowe. Rowe tries to give the don't argue, but it was too high. And they just couldn't get themselves out of trouble, the Pies. They tried to do everything, but they seemed to make it harder for themselves with every handball that they took. There's going to be a free kick here to Tyler Costa, as you said. He's certainly going to be putting himself up for votes by the umpires. So he's outside, too far for him to score. He goes to the top of the 50, kicks to the square, looking for a marking. Carriage from behind, snaps over his shoulder. Has it got enough in it? It doesn't look like, but running onto it was Reynolds. And the umpire says no, he's taken the mark over the line.
Gee, I don't know about that,
I'm
Ben.
not so sure either, Silko.
He's going to pay the mark, I think, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's going to stand up by Matthew Viwick. will allow this opportunity here for Lukey Reynolds. Has 2 goals this afternoon. Certainly when that ball goes inside the forward 50, he's never out of the contest. He just continues to stay alive, and that's exactly what he did there as he swings it off his left boot around his body, kicks a ripper from the pocket, and that pretty much seals the deal for me, I reckon. At 8:19.67, the Demons go on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. We've ticked over some 15 and a half minutes in this final term, but they look to be in the box seat here, I reckon, over Merbein. 5-9-39. Your Hot FM Sunraysia Day, Sunraysia Footy Match of the Day for Colin Tenney, First National Real Estate.
DFAB, I'll tell you what, they're like boa constrictors, the D's, aren't they?
Yep.
They just finally get you to that point where the pressure just finally bursts.
Yep.
And then the floodgates seem to open a little bit.
Merbein just can't find the time to get the kicks away that they need to, and at the right time. And some of the big names have stepped up in the last quarter as well.
As Zachy Mack tries to clear it out, gets a quick handball out to Jones. He gets the 1-2 back, so he has to retreat a little bit. This time goes with a short kick, finds Walker all by himself with a beautiful pinpointed pass. At centre half forward, he plays, looking for a leading target in Reynolds. Reynolds hands out in front. Too good for ball. The kick again, out in front. Really makes it very difficult there for the defender to be able to get anything on there, doesn't it, Silko?
Down to you, Johnny, for Fatty Boomba. He must be electric out of the blocks, because when he gets into stride and takes the grabs, he doesn't even look like he's really having a crack, does he? But he just does it so easily.
And Nate Bull's no slouch. He's quite athletic.
Here he is. Reynolds, the number 23, starts it right. Is it going to swing back? It will marginally, but not enough. So minus score 8-20 for Mildura, 68 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. Merbein 5-9-39, 16 and 3/4 minute mark. It's 28 scoring shots to 14, Johnny Hollywood.
Yeah, biggest thing for me in the centre bouncers at the moment. Obviously, Merbein haven't been winning the taps in the second half at all, and yet they're all still running forward. I know they're trying to be aggressive and attack, but not even one person's behind. Mildura's taking it away. I reckon if we look in, outside of the centre bouncers, Mildura have been killing them lately.
Yep.
As we see the ball go out of bounds here at the contest, again directly underneath our noses here on the commentary side wing at Kenny Park, where we see Mildura 8-20-68 leading the Maggies 5-9-39. This time we see Frankel and Phillips go. Phillips gets front position down to Nolan. Nolan with a quick little handball. Smart tap by McDonald goes to Rogerson. To Rosa. He's the recipient inboard. Goes for a kick. Looking for a leading target again. Maxi Keel. And it's hard to believe this boy is 17 years old and he is playing like an absolute weathered senior footballer and owning everything across half forward at the moment. He's hard to beat when he's out in front, isn't he, Silko?
He is dominating, isn't he? There's no question. He's been doing it at junior level for many, many years at number one, but he's brought that game to senior level, and he is absolutely putting on a display this afternoon. Kicks from 50, sets it up. It's holding its line, but it's going near side for another behind. 8-21-69 Mildura, 5-9-39 Merbein. That's at the 18-minute mark of the final term. Mildura this term have added 2 goals, 6. The Pies, donuts.
As the kick comes to Rowe, Rowe immediately plays on. Short pass, centre half back, marks taken by Scott Bedford. He's got a runner in Angus Smith. He uses him. Smith with that left foot goes to half forward looking for Tipper. He's got 2 to beat. Ball spills over the back. Buchner runs onto it. He's got to get rid of the ball quickly. He does that to Nolan. Nolan goes inboard. The handball's not great. Cut off by Frankel. Frankel uses Noah Hills. Noah Hills with a big kick inside the attacking 50, looking for Lockyer. Lockyer jumps up at the ground. Ball spills down. Pettit, roving front and centre, runs onto it, kicks around the body. And a really nice crumbing goal there by Pettit. Does it give him enough of a pulse here, DFAB, to be able to get something going? But it was a desperately needed goal and just opened up nicely by using that corridor with that run coming from half back.
Nigel Lockyer's leg injury, boys. I reckon it's serious. I reckon they've got to go and get him x-rayed after the game. I think it could be something in the shin.
Yeah, I agree, John. And as you said, leaving him out there longer is only putting him at risk of missing more games and certainly going into the back end of the season. They can't afford that.
Put the queue in the rack. Go and get your superstars, put them to bed and look to finals footy. Yeah, don't worry about trying to win the game today, as we see. Centre bounce won by Phillips, only as far as his direct opponent in hooker. The ball spills down to ground level. Players jumping on top of it. The umpire wow. It looked like it was actually a free kick to young Novak for a high tackle. But he's being caught red hot holding the ball.
It was a bit of a throwing back of the head, so maybe that was what the umpire was concerned with.
As Hooker plays on, he goes deep in tacking 50 as he's nudged out of it. Lockyer by Buchner. Buchner handballs it forward just in hope. as the kick comes off the ground by Seward, cut off at half forward by Bedford. He reloads inside.
What an effort.
And a beautiful
On
kick
one
to
leg.
a diving Lockyer, as you said, on one leg. And he is really hurting. He is limping. And you can just see that tape above his left leg there at the just above the sock.
Yep.
I mean, this is a really gutsy
How about the
performance
kick
here by
before
Lockyer,
that? It
isn't
was done as he was slipping. I've seen slip and slides that don't have that much slip.
So here's Lockyer from a couple of steps, sets it up off the left boot. He's hung it about outright. They were celebrating at ground level, the Pies, but just goes onto that right-hand side for a minor score. 6:10.46, the home side. 8:21.69 for Mildura. 20-minute mark of this the final term. They're starting to find a little bit, but is it too late here for Merbein? They're starting to get a bit more of a win around the stoppages as the kick comes up towards Phillips. Marked front and centre, though, nicely by Bedford, who's certainly racked up touches in the last 5 minutes.
He's starting to get himself into the play. Right half forward, goes inside the 50, looking for a leading Lockall. The ball comes a pass with Hemming, tries to cut his way through the side of the contest. Lands in the hands of Lockall. He kicks immediately, doesn't get any penetration. And it's just a short kick that was marked only 5 metres away from Nolan, immediately wrapped up. So it's going to be a throw up, 30 metres out from home here for the Pies. Ball spills down by Phillips, looking for a running Elijah Brown, but he's got 3 players to beat as the ball goes back to Leckel. Leckel gets it to Bedford. Bedford hurried kick off the boot, just trying to get the ball moving forward. Beats everybody, and it's going to go out of bounds, about 10 metres around from the right-hand point post. Attacking end here for the Pies, and they desperately need one here, Silko.
Johnny, down to you for Fatty Boombar. If there was ever any doubt about Matty Ricks' absence from the side and how well he's been playing, well, we've seen it today, haven't we? Because they've tried to swing so many different men through that ruck hit-out situation. But certainly Zach Phillips, as the day has gone on, has just gotten taller and taller.
Yeah, some players are vital for each club, aren't they? And he's certainly vital for this one. And I don't know if they can win any final, never mind a grand final, without Rixie. So he's certainly got to get back, and he's certainly got to keep his fitness up.
As Seward plays on from full back to the outer side, gives it everything he can. Could have been a push in the back from Max Keel. Spills down to Stevens. He shrugs a couple of tackles, gives a handball off to a running player. It looks like that's Ferraris. And he's immediately taken. So at right half forward, just underneath the Cumiella Club scoreboard, there's going to be another boundary throw in. And today is probably that game that we've seen Zach Phillips probably rise to the occasion. That mid-season recruit here, T-Fab, he's done a fantastic job in the ruck.
Yep, he's taken the opportunity.
As we see Bedford try to play on through the contest. He's caught holding the ball, which...
Oh, don't tell me he's crook as well.
I was going to say, as he goes down on the ground, and we can't see what he's holding, but he's certainly not looking good. Lying on the ground at the moment as we see the Merbein trainer come out, and he's not getting up anytime soon, which is not fantastic news, but he's up off the ground, but it looks like he's just holding that left shoulder a little bit there, Silko.
Yeah.
But
got himself back up to an upright position, which is great news for Magpies fans, but we'll keep an eye on his progress as the ball's distributed by the D's towards the centre wing on the outer side. Nate Bill did well in tight confines. Comes out the side here, chance for Dodds, I reckon it was, off his right boot, kicks into the hot spot. Bedford out the back, almost took the mark. Here's McDonald, Tippenwoody, hand passes to no one. Might sit up for Noah Hills. Over the top, Bedford, great work. They continue through, Pettit inside out. Goal, Merbein.
well, it's not over yet, as we see another running goal and a crumbing goal there by Pettit. He's second in a row, so 2 really good crumbing attempts there, as we see a little scuffle break through here, and it's been spot fires all day. But on the Cumiella Club scoreboard, Mildura 8:21.69 leading Merbein 7:11.53, nearly 24 minutes gone. Is there enough time here for a late comeback, do you reckon, Silko, or is it just a little bit too late?
Yes, John?
Yeah, look, Mr. Bedford wasn't happy there. And he obviously started that little confrontation just at the end. Look, the tackle was fair and it was holding the ball, but he was slung at the end, which obviously when the video people watch it, they're going to look at it and go, hang on a minute. That was a sling tackle, and that's how he hurt his shoulder.
Okay, thanks for the intel.
Still had very clean hands, though, in that chain of possessions. Bedford to set up that goal.
Okay. Tell you one thing that we do know about the video umpiring at the moment is certainly not afraid to be able to put something to the tribunal upon looking at the replays, as we saw with, we've got Jyden Nagel, who's going to be going to the tribunal, I think, from the video replay last week.
Yeah, there's a bit going on behind the scenes, don't you worry, in this 2026 season of Sunraysia footy, as Phillips wins it down to Rogerson, tries to kick around his body, Rowe intercepts, long hand pass is going to miss the target initially of Bedford. Lahu went back to find it, then he was hit with a pretty decent tackle.
Plugger.
More front-on contact, and that was a very, very tough collision there on Noah Hills. That's taken the wind out of his sails as Matt Buick picks up the footy and looks to get us going again. 25-minute mark. Final term, Mildura looking comfortable at 16 points the better at the moment on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. Nice work from Hemming out of a really tight space to kick them forward here towards Pettit. He's been pretty decent up forward this afternoon, but he's met by a really strong tackle which will hold the ball to him. Good bit of work there. I reckon that was Sammy Gosman who got the job done there for Mildura. And we go again as Corey Lockell got blocked by the umpire to go for that ruck contest. Could have maybe gone for a redo there. They won't deliver it to the Pies. They won't get it. She's out of play, Riddles.
You're a gutsy man backing into Corey Lockell. It's like running into a Sunraysia bus lines truck. So here at left half forward, attacking end again, looking for the relay to go inside the attacking 50 is Merbein. This time Lockell's going to take the ruck duties, but he's beaten to it by Phillips. He tries to nudge his way through, gets only as far as hooker. Tries to get a sneaky little handball out to Bedford, but straight onto it. These have numbers. Nathan Nolan, who's been really good in the clinches all day, holds the ball up. So again, at the top of the 50, left half forward, umpire throws up. Lockell this time takes it out of the contest. Left foot, hurried kick. He gets it to the advantage of Stevens, who just winds a couple of players in with a sneaky little left foot, looking for Tippo. The ball spills down front and centre. It's a roving Hills who kicks around the shoulder, and his snap is just off target to the right-hand side. As it takes Merbein 7:13.54, still trailing Mildura 8:21.69 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. 26.5 minutes gone, Silko.
Had some opportunities, haven't they, DFAB, in this last quarter? Just haven't quite been able to ice them.
Yeah, no, they've left it a bit late. They've come back into the game in these last couple of minutes, but probably just left it too late.
There it is. The siren sounds at Kenny Park. Mildura tick the box. The assignment is certainly set up here. As we're going to get a free. Is it after the siren? Does it even matter?
No.
Well, I guess percentage points, whether they're that important. Umpire says, no, we're not going to worry about it, boys. Let's just get off the ground and hit the showers. So final score in our Collie and Tierney Sunraysia footy match of the day this afternoon is Coach Sam Kerridge claps his troops into the huddle here. 8:21.69 for Mildura, 7:12.54 for Merbein. We'll head back to the Burn Court studios for a few brief messages.
Hot sponsors.
The Sunraysia Footy Match of the Day. Thanks to Collie and Teeny First National Real Estate. The SFNL Match of the Day on Hot FM, your official SFNL broadcaster.
This time I'm way into it.
And welcome back to Kenny Park here on your community radio, Hot FM, as we look to wrap up what has been a pulsating match of the day between teams 1 and 2 in the Sunraysia Football Netball League. But in the end, it was the top of the stack Demons who prevailed, 8:21.69 over the home side, Merbein at 7:12.54. So Mildura led by 12 points at quarter time. She was all locked up at half time. They got back out to 12 by three-quarter time, and they run out 15-point victors in what was quite the game of football, it must be said. Let's have a look at the goal kickers for you for Mildura. 3 goals to Luke Reynolds, 2 to Sam Kerridge, 2 to Max Keel, and 1 for Elijah Brown. Meanwhile, for Merbein, 3 for Nigel Lockyer on 1 leg. Lucas Pettit finished strongly with 2. And there were singles for Noah Hills and Anthony McDonald at Tipperary. Pat Silcox, Ben Ridley, Michael Di Fabrizio and John Hollywood with you this afternoon. I'm going to throw it over to you boys to try and make sense of what we've just watched in the last 2.5 hours. It was an arm wrestle, it was a battle, but in the end, Mildura now 2 games clear on top, DFAB.
That's right. Yeah, no, very handy from that perspective to add another 4 points into the bank and create that separation, because that means you can start planning for finals a bit sooner. You know, if you're able to lock it in a few weeks out compared to it going down to the wire like that, that's certainly an advantage. And bear in mind that these 2 teams play each other in the last round. So if it did actually come down to the wire, you wouldn't want to be in that situation, because that's like an extra final,
isn't it? I mean, we've got the split round here. What it's usually we'll be going into round 13 in the normal round.
And this was round 9.
This is round 9. So then in 4 or 5 weeks' time, they play each other again.
Go again.
And then every chance, probably second week of finals, that they could be matching up on each other again.
We thought today was a chess game. This could be the first 2 moves of the chess game.
Well, and that's it. But
I'm going to get shot down in flames with this statement. I'm going to get texts off people who know nothing about football. That's great. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. They are the most boring, consistent.
I didn't think he was going to say this.
Of course. they are like a wave because all they do is effort and play your role. They are an amazing team for wearing you down.
They're a boa constrictor, aren't they?
They are. They're awful. And I don't mean awful as in regards to watching them. They're fantastic because they just do it over. You know what they're going to do. You know what they're going to try and do. Even if they're not doing it, they're going to try and do it. They're going to try and play to their game plan. They're going to stick to their role. They're not going to try and get... Look at... Okay, number 51.
Yeah,
Right, Seriously? Tyler?
I know.
Seriously? Is Tyler a senior footballer?
Hang on, and not only that,
He's a bloody good senior
and he
footballer.
played on Scott Bedford.
And I think Scott Bedford's actually Merbein's best recruit for the year, personally. Plays both sides, he's tough as nails. I know your man Nigel, but I think they reckon that at this stage, the Merbein people are too, they reckon Scotty's winning the best first out here, and he reckons he's a show for the middle.
Yeah,
so that's their tip at this stage. So, Mildura, it's actually a compliment to them. I didn't want to go to the huddle at three-quarter bomb defect, but I'm serious because I know what I was going to get. I knew exactly what I was going to get. I knew exactly what I was going to get told. I knew exactly what was coming to the players. And I'll tell you what, it's boring, but it's fantastic.
But the one thing is, it's predictable to themselves. It's predictable to everyone else. But you still got to be able to beat them.
You can't beat them.
And that's the thing.
Because they'll just keep doing the same thing over and over until they get it right.
And that's the thing. On all three lines, they've got players that are stars. And they're so well drilled that they just know their system incredibly well that even when we've had young kids come in like Bo Keel and these other young guys come through, they just slot in perfectly. They know exactly what role they all have to play. They know exactly what's happening next. They know what's going on down the line. They trust the defenders because on every line, they've got people that are going to take charge. Ben Hurley, across half-back, absolutely takes charge. And Bushner, I mean, he's a really solid player across half-back. Then you go in the midfield. Mitchie Rogerson, who's usually playing at half-back, but he comes through, has 35 touches in the middle of the ground here today, roving off Zach Phillips, who all of a sudden you sit there and you go, well, now we know why you recruited him.
So, DFAB, I didn't see Elves' comments from last week or the week before's game when they got beaten by Robinvale, but I bet you, I can guess. We didn't play to the game plan. We went off what we'd normally do well. Okay? We weren't doing all the basics which we're trained to do over and over and over. Those are the things he said.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yes.
There it is. There's your board of football.
It's really bringing it back to basics. The second quarter last week, he said that, we were bombing it in. We weren't just looking for the target. So he really brings it back to the fundamentals of what you need to get right.
It's interesting you say that because in the first half, that's what they were doing. They were bombing it in because it took them so long to be able to get the ball forward.
They weren't getting down there quick enough.
Yeah, and it was a cluster down there. So numbers were flooding back for Merbein and it was really tight. That second half, all of a sudden, they didn't go deep inside 50, they went shallow and they started to get Max Keel into the game. Elijah Brown started to get a little bit across half forward. Then all of a sudden that next kick opened it up because you're spreading those defenders further up the ground, which means you've now got some extra space in front of Kerridge, Reynolds, these guys. And Reynolds, I think, may have had 5 or 6 shots on goal in that second half. And it just opens up that space in front of the guys by not just bombing it in each week.
The spacing is the right word because Elijah Brown can have a first half like he did, and then all of a sudden he commands a lot of attention. But then if he's like, okay, you're going to follow me, I'll drag you out here. And then there's perfect leads for Keel.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you to military terms. Every army's got a general.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone's got on those lines, there's someone that will be the general for each line.
Yep.
It's your soldiers that do all the work, do all the grunt work, literally, infantry grunt work. Soldiers, they're the ones that make the difference in the war. Mildura have got enough soldiers who just come in and go, right, this is your role, this is what you're going to do, and this is how you're going to do it. If you go through the list of their players, they're actually loaded with talent because we didn't really, Seward. Can he play senior football and he's very effective? Yes, of course he is. Novak got a few touches there at the end, very vital. Dylan Murph didn't have his normal game today because he didn't have to. Nathan Nolan didn't start today, but their soldiers are the ones that keep doing everything right, and their voice is better than most clubs at ground level.
And Seward as well seems to be spending a lot of time on McDonald, Tip and Woody, who didn't have his usual influence that you'd expect. So not just his own efforts, but his defensive side was really too.
As a coach, when you put Tyler Costa on Bedford, and you get 50-50.
Yeah.
Who's won?
Oh, Costa by the street of the Flemington Straight. But you know the one thing too, like if we have a look at Mildura, there's no ego. So that's the one thing about them. There's no one who's sitting there saying, Reynolds, Kerridge, they're not saying just kick it to me. So you have a look at today's players, their whole list. I'd struggle to go out there and say that there was a clear BOG, and every single player that you see on their list did something to be able to contribute like a soldier. And you go through, Nathan Nolan was absolutely amazing all day in the